Lights, camera, action. I've been looking through my internet archive once again, and I found a video that is worthy of putting back on the internet. And it's one of the leadership training meetings that was recorded on the 29th of May in 2022. Why it's important is because there's a guy in there called Clayton Ford. And he seems to have got away with promoting Hyperverse with Keith Williams. And I just wanted to give it an update before I put this video online, is give you an update on some of the things that he's been doing since. Now, he has got a sidekick with him in the activity he's doing. I'm going to get the computer to read the name.
Ranald Hepburn.
Ranald Hepburn. I can never quite pronounce that one right. So what I want to do is just show you a couple of things of interest. So just as I said, I put back an old video that was recorded with Des Amy and Susan Lawrence and gave you an update on what they have been up to over the last year. And now I want to give you an update on Clayton Ford, because he's someone that's been rampant at promoting Hyperverse and HyperNation, but you don't see him on the camera much because he hides. And I've found that his company is actually called Blockchain Lifestyle. So in the video that I'll put on at the end of my introduction, you'll actually see him promoting Blockchain Lifestyle, and he seems to hide behind this brand quite well. But if you go to his YouTube channel, all you find is videos of other people's content that he has seemingly pinched. And this is actually one I haven't actually seen, just popped up there. But I did have one of the videos that he's got on his video on his YouTube channel, and this is Morizon Baank with 2 A's. Don't ask me why. But this is the video that promotes Morizon Baank, which seems to be a Prezi card that people can use as a debit card. And then they get paid rewards, and the rewards are there to help the people that have lost money to Hyperverse. And this is his recovery plan for helping people that he led by the hand into Hyperverse and HyperNation. Now the question is, looking at this video that you see here, do these type of people they're marketing to look like they have debit cards and would want a Prezi card to go purchase their goods with? I don't know. Anyway, so I did a bit of searching for Clayton Ford and Morizon Baank card, and would you believe, Diversified Ventures, who has 1,300 and 400 subscribers and has uploaded 865 videos. This guy is rampant at promoting any Ponzi scheme or scam known to man. So if you are ever in doubt whether someone who's pitching you one of these scams, and you want to find out, if you find it on this guy's YouTube channel, Pascal was his name, then you can just about guarantee it's a scam. In fact, I'm looking at everything here that I'm scrolling through, and everything is a scam. But I did find this one here, and this was a video promoting
of
Morizon.
Yeah, thank you for your question. That's very easily solved.
Promoting Morizon Baank card, and as you can see and listen to for a second,
obviously that would have been one of the first issues we would have thought of as well. So how we've done that, basically, we do actually do checks when you apply.
So the guy talking is called Morizon Limited. And the website address that you can see in the middle here is bclifestyles.net, which is Clayton Ford's. And they've got Morizon Limited in here, talking about how people can sign up and potentially get rewarded when they spend money on their debit card, you know, when you need to charter a plane. It's absolutely crazy. So then I did a bit more searching around, and I found that that Clayton Ford was actually 2 months before the video I'm about to show you. He actually was a guest speaker on this guy's, I don't know what I call social media. I don't know who this guy is from a bar of soap, but I did find out a little bit. And if you go down here enough, you'll find a year ago, or 14 months or 15 months ago, you'll see Clayton Ford pop up. I don't think, I've done this a few times. I had to restart my computer because things were jamming up for some reason. Don't download the new operating system for Mac. It seems to use a lot of resources, just saying, and it's been jamming my videos. Anyway, that was what I was saying. Anyway, if you go down here enough, you'll find that Clayton Ford has actually been with this guy in an interview. And then I tracked the interview and I found it on this guy's website. I don't know who this guy is too much, but I did find a description about him on his Twitter account. And it says official Twitter account representing the European regional headquarters of the Nation of Islam located in London, England. And here's a picture of Clayton Ford and him doing a presentation together. I did also find some other videos of this guy's efforts. He looks like he's done quite a lot of effort putting a YouTube channel together, but he's only got 32 subscribers and 29 videos, and that's why I'm asking, who is this guy, and why has he put all this energy into doing these videos if no one's really watching them or subscribing to his YouTube channel? And obviously he's in London, so I presume he's a government paid or someone who's paid to represent someone to do social media, and so he's probably thinking he knows what he's doing. Anyway, I found an event on Eventbrite where Clayton was meant to be speaking. It was only a digital event. But anyway, let's look at Morizon. Just quickly, I clicked on the homepage and I had a look at this company that theoretically is producing a card or some sort of mechanism that you can store money on. And I had a look through here just quickly and I thought this website's stupid. It's got claims like 150k UK female startups 22. I don't know even know what this means. It's just an absolutely crap website. Then I was curious whether it was a WordPress website. So I went over here and it's a WordPress website. What type of credit card or debit card company would build their website on a friggin' WordPress website? No one. So then I thought, oh, let's see if we can contact them. Imagine someone's got your debit card and you want to ring them up and put a hold on your card. Well, you can't because there's no phone number. There's only an email address and a form to fill out. And I'm just going to press submit for the hell of it to see whether it works. Yeah, it does look like it works. Sometimes they don't, and that's even funnier. Then I went and researched who Morizon Card is. Hope I'm saying that word correctly. And Joseph Amanda, one person in England theoretically is registered to that company. Maybe that was the guy in the Zoom meeting. So absolutely credible. So that's basically what he's been up to. And the other person, Randall, I don't know what he's up to. But I just wanted to show you that these guys are still rampant. Now, I'm going to show you something interesting. This is the video I just did yesterday, and I'm just going to show you how to use chapters. See how I've got the chapters on the left-hand side? You ever wondered how I get them there? Well, it's a wee bit complicated. You click on the More button, go all the way to the bottom, click View All, and it takes you to the section in the video. Because I do long-form content, you can click on that part of the video, and it will take you directly to the part you want to listen to. So, for example, would you like to know where Sam Lee lives?
Yes.
Well, Sam Lee's home address. This is where Sam lives.
I wonder who lives here.
Uncle Sam. And also, I break these into segments to make it easier for you to view.
I was saying that you're doing a fantastic job and Sam loves your work.
Is involved. And Gobi. Oh, yeah. So I've done quite well with my long form content. And one thing that I would like to show you, this here is the production team for the people that did all the HyperNation videos, and I managed to find all of them out, but not that that really matters now. But maybe if you are looking for a production team for your scam, contact me or contact the people that you can see in front of you here. Awesome. Right, so I wanted to bring up the old videos I did because they were a bit of a laugh, because at the point when I was doing my videos, HyperCommunity were making it very hard for me to get the content to do the voiceover on. In fact, I removed the videos because I was worried they're going to report me for copyright. So I met this guy. Well, I didn't meet this guy, but there was a guy that was recording all the Hyperverse meetings using a cell phone. And he was basically recording his laptop, and I was using those videos. But then I got access to the community area. The password was 111. Or 222, and I could get access to the videos. And at the time that I was doing that, Kalpesh left, and I was pinching the videos and doing voiceovers on them. So it's just watching the introduction to these videos, I wanted to show you how funny it was. So let's flip into this again, and this is the start of the video that I did the voiceover on.
Dell just posted, we had to change the links because our recordings were being hijacked, edited, and stuck on silly YouTube channels. Yes, so we had to do that as well. We also had to close out and get some individuals who gone rogue and caused a few problems as well. The last week has been pretty difficult.
So he's talking about Kalpesh Patel because he left at that time because Sam Lee told Kalpesh Patel that they were taking the money out of the Hyperverse and exchanging it into Bitcoin, and they weren't doing the whale trading that they told the nodes, and they weren't doing investment in startups, and then they did actually offer Kalpesh Patel a whole lot of money to do a slow exit strategy. And at this point, Keith Williams, if you're not familiar, he's actually got stage 4 cancer. I was speaking to his friend today. He's telling me he's still going through a second bout of chemo. I think they call it nuclear chemo. He's in good spirits. He's actually, he said he's not in recession, but he's in really, really good spirits. His friend only caught up with him last week. He never did answer the question, though, whether Keith had been investigated for money laundering by the tax department, because I got told that he went to pay $1.5 million in taxes. Now, if you're not familiar with Keith Williams' lifestyle, he now lives in a £3 million mansion. He's got a few mil in the bank, and also done some investment. And Andrew, his son, is theoretically looking after his estate as Keith goes through the fight of his life. But all that money came from Hyperverse, because you got Kalpesh Patel over in Dubai living out on the 56th story of a building overlooking the Majestic. All that money came from Hyperverse and their efforts. So at this time, it's quite funny. This video is quite prudent because this is when, just before Pinnacle and ARK started coming into the scene. So Keith was pulling out all the stops. So Clayton Ford was one of his mates. He worked with him, I think, with British Telecom at one stage, and that's how we got to know him. And then obviously Keith Williams has introduced Clayton Ford into Hyperverse, and he was making a lot of money. But that didn't stop him. He's still promoting Ponzi schemes and scams. So I thought that was quite funny. The other one I did is, this is me with my red face. Boy, do I look better in camera now. But I wanted to go through and just show you some of the things that I found out when I was looking at the hyper communities. So there I was in the back end of the hyper community, logged in quite nicely. And when I was looking at that, I could see how many people were actually accessing the hyper, what they used to call it, I think it was hypercommunity.link website. And the visitors that were visiting it, going by what Google Alexa was telling us, didn't merit the amount of people that seem to be involved in Hyperverse. So that's what I was raving on about there. They were just introducing and encouraging people to buy, what do you call it, NFTs for 100, 10,000 and 100,000. But the part that I wanted to show you, I think is quite funny, is I think 19 minutes in, and I want to show you the guy. So look at this. This is where I was getting the recordings from. So I've got a guy, this is the reflection on his camera. And he's literally holding, or he's got a tripod, his camera, and recording the screen. And I was getting these videos off the Facebook page and then downloading them and then doing my voiceovers on them. So I just want to give you a snippet of that.
Listen to this. I loved the content. So guys, this is a treat for you on a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon on leadership, and something slightly different. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. You should be able to see my screen. Let me know if you can.
So funny.
So you should
but you can see here the screen. But at one point, because this went on for months, this guy was providing me, well, he didn't know he was providing me these things, but he must have been naked, and he walked between the gap there naked, and somebody sent me a message on my YouTube videos that they just saw a naked man on the video. Oh my God, that wasn't him there, was it? No, but anyway, don't look at that, kids. All right, so I just wanted to show you a bit of the history. So I've had a bit of fun. Obviously, Clayton Ford is still hiding his face, and I don't want these guys to seep through the floorboards, so to speak. But when you're looking at these people in these Zoom meetings, you've got like people like Jackie Holmes, you've got Mario, who's now claiming that he's going to help get money back with Roy Konacha. And you'll see different people pop up in these meetings, and you'll see them still promoting We Are All Satoshi. So enjoy the video. Any comments, please do subscribe. I know people on YouTube always think that we get a lot of money from the adverts. We don't. I get about between $5 and $8 a video if I'm lucky, and that's over about a 3-month period. But by subscribing to my YouTube channel and hitting that notification bell, it will send you a note when I publish a new video. By watching the video and running it all the way through, it really helps. And obviously by hitting the thumbs up button and providing a comment, those 4 things really help these videos get sent out to the masses. So when Hyperverse crashed and everyone was trying to get their money back, my YouTube channel went off, and it was great. And that's because YouTube knew people were searching for my content. Now it's a little bit quiet. I spend 70 or 80 hours a month. So feel free to support the channel and support me. There's a thanks button underneath this video. A $2 donation will go a long way. And also I have a buy me a coffee link in the description if you want to support me and my channel. I really appreciate it. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. Enjoy the video. A wee bit of history in the making. All right. See you guys.
Afternoon leadership training with myself, Keith Williams, my very, very special guest today, back by popular demand. I can't wait to introduce him to you guys, but it's so good to be here. Wow, wow, wow. We were maxed out with 25 minutes to go. Let me go ahead and put the spotlights on right now. And let's do that now. Here we go. You guys should be able to see me. Let me put the full screen on. Thank you very much for joining us for leadership training today with myself, Keith Williams. We're going to have a bumper morning. Guys, if you are having breakfast this morning, call it your full English breakfast, because you're going to get served up with a full English today in the United States. I know it's breakfast for you guys over there. And wow, wow, wow. We're going to have a great day. Wow, what a week we've had. And it's been an incredible week. The storms picked up a little bit. We got a bit more wind this week. Some trees were uprooted, but great to see you guys here again. It's great to be back. Thank you, thank you, thank you for, sticking in with us here. And we're going to be serving up fabulous training here. But before I do that, introduce my next, an individual, a very, very special individual, somebody who I've known for 27 years. We're actually in business together in the telecoms industry. We took a very small practice, a two-man operation, to become one of the top telecoms companies in the UK. We grew our consultancy from humble beginnings in 7 years to be a top 6 distributor for one of the biggest telecoms companies around the world at that time. That's right. And it's so good because he's a brother to me, and I know his level and how he operates. And if you're in his team and you've been mentored by him over the years, especially over the last couple of years, you've been privileged to experience him every single day. And I know his leadership skills are incredible. But before I go into our training today, and the training today is going to be very, very special, let me just give you a roll call. Let me tell you who this gentleman is. Well, let's take a look at some of his achievements here within Hyper, and I'll tell you about himself. Well, he has produced over 300 million in membership sales, membership acquisitions since he started in July 2020. So he's been around a long time. He's also broken 16 VIP 5 stars within his organization. 16 VIP 5s. He's also, ladies and gentlemen, because leadership is not for everyone, and a lot of people call themselves leaders, but tell you what he has done. He has 8 VIP 5 stars front line. That means directly sponsored by him. 8 VIP 5 stars. He's got hundreds and thousands of ranked members within his organization. He's held events all over London and the South East, with hundreds showing up at his events. His personal skills, he's an accredited trainer, corporate trainer. He's in demand with blue chip companies around the UK. He's been in the business of personal development and training for at least 2 decades professionally. He's a very special individual. He's a very, very dear friend, a brother to me, and somebody who has really taken this company by storm and has absolutely delivered on all fronts. But what I love about him is that if I was going to go into battle with anyone, he'd be number one alongside me. If I'm going to go into battle, and some would say we're in a little bit of a battle right now, and I can't think of anybody else other than this gentleman to go into battle with, and I know he'll have my back all the way. Guys, I want you guys to just put your hands together or just give us a big yay or clap in the chat from my very, very dear friend and business partner, Mr. Clayton Ford. Are you with us, sir?
How can I not be?
How can you not be? It's so good to have you on, backed by popular demand. We've been waiting for you to come back. It's great to have you back. Let me hit the spotlight, put a spotlight on you, my friend, get you up. And we've been waiting for this moment for some time. Where are you? Where are you? I can't find you. Where are you? Let me just do this. I know what I've got to do. I've got to, let's go here, exit full screen, go into gallery. I think I'll find you this way. Where are you, sir? Looking for you. Zoom best me about today. Where are you? There you go. Just speak, Clayton. You jump onto my first screen. You just say hello.
Say hi. Hi.
Hold on a second. Where are you? Where are you? I can't find you.
Right here.
I wonder if they. There you are. Look, there you are. Found you. Brother, how are you? Brother from another mother, how are you? Great to have you on. Wow. Brilliant. You look fabulous, man. You look like $1 million. Well, multi-million dollars.
I'll blame it on you.
Yeah, listen, welcome back. Look at the fire in chat. It's great to have you back. And today is a special day. We're going to deliver and serve up some really strong training today. And I know how you roll, and you know how I roll. So you guys out there are going to be in for a treat this morning, this afternoon. And you look great, man. You look healthy.
Listen.
Right? It's good over here.
It's good over here. It's absolutely good over here. You know, when you get a little bit of sunshine, it's always helpful. And I'm gonna get me another dose from Monday for a week. Go and travel with the family for 7 days back to Dubai.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're going back to Dubai.
Going back to Dubai. So it's half term for the children. So
yeah, great.
Yeah, just gonna take a little time and give.
So for those that have not met you before, tell us a little bit about Clayton Ford. Tell us a little bit about yourself, because I know you. I mean, listen, we're brothers. We've known each other for many years, and we've worked at close quarters in our own business for over 12 years. So, you know, we started humble beginnings. I used to pick you up at 5 a.m. in the morning. We used to go out call sheets. So we used to get on the phone, make the calls, go out in the afternoon, and close the business. That's right. Tell us a little bit about your journey. Tell us about yourself, really, because I know that you're very busy. I could have gone through so many things. I know you're a skilled Forex expert as well, a trader, you know, before you joined Hyper. I mean, you were deep in the world of Forex. But of course, you've trained for blue chip companies. You're in demand. And so, you know, I'm humbled. You know, it's always great. You know, they say, I mean, listen, I have limited skills, but I surround myself with the very, very best.
That's what smart people do, right? That's what smart people do.
I don't know if it's smart. But, you know, I have my set of skills, but I surround myself with the very, very best. People who are better than me. And listen, my friend, you are one of the best trainers in the UK. And it's not me just saying it. It's come from so many different areas as well. People, you know, speaking highly of your skill set. So tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to the leaders here. Well, we're maxed out. I mean, we've got probably well over 2,000 now. Mervyn says, the best.
Well, I mean, it's somewhat difficult to know where to start. But I mean, if I go back to special moments, right? So I guess my first moment was graduating in telecoms engineering, because that ultimately was where you and I sort of that formed the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Of the bond. So I graduated in telecommunications engineering, you know, a fair while ago, and started working for a company, Mercury Communications. For those of you that remember deregulation, British Telecom exposed to competition. Mercury Communications was the very first company in the UK that was given a license to compete with British Telecom. So I used to work for them. So I graduated in engineering, but I found that I began to become more interested in what the technology was doing for people, and why they would want to buy the technology. You know, what was in the black box. And so more of the benefits rather than the technology. And I guess that took me on a journey of being interested in marketing, being interested in sales, and then ultimately just being interested in people and how they think. You know, how is it that someone can go into a business and then come out with, you know, a 20,000 contract or £1 million contract? You know, what was the process and what was the thought process behind it? But also the marketing side of things as well. You know, what goes behind getting someone to want to buy your product or service. I just found that was incredibly interesting to me. So that took me on a journey of discovery for myself personally, but also about people. So I've done things around. I've done some weird things, right? I've looked at hypnotherapy. I've looked at not hypnotherapy. I've looked at hypnotists. I've looked at Silver Method. I've looked at NLP. I've looked at CBT. I've looked at a whole bunch of different things in terms of understanding how people are wired. I've been to Anthony Robbins, done fire walks. You know, all the kind of stuff that we do as we are, you know, investing in ourselves and growing. So I, for one reason or another, when I came across multi-level marketing in the, I think it was the late 90s, Amway being my first company, I went to seminars and rallies, and I saw amazing people at the front of the room telling their stories. And for one reason or another, it just excited me no end. It excited me no end to know that there was a way out of traditional work. There was a way out of traditional work called residual income. And when my mind was exposed to residual income and the concept of multi-level marketing and networking, I could not go back to what was considered to be normal life. I just couldn't. My brain couldn't handle it. To think that I was going to be working for 40 plus years, 40 hours a week or whatever, you know, and looking forward to, I don't even know what level of income. I just knew that at the time, Ian Vallance was the chairman of British Telecom. He was earning 100,000 a year. And as a recent graduate, I thought 100,000 a year was like it. That was like, okay, let's go there. Let's build a career and look to be the chairman of British Telecom one day. That was what was in the back of my mind. But it soon changed. Multi-level marketing, network marketing, Amway, personal development, because in Amway there was a whole, you know, conversation around books and tapes and so on. So I really, really enjoyed that. And I think that got me on a path to essentially, you know, where things are today, where I stuck with training, I left engineering, and just continued learning about myself, learning about other people, just learning how the world works, to be quite honest with you. And if you can work out how your inside world works, it's very easy to work out how the outside world works. So fast forward, met yourself, you know, through a friend, you know, came to your office and listened to you. And what I took from the conversation, just listening to you, was you were very perceptive around what was happening worldwide, but also spotting opportunities and gaps that you could take advantage of. And when you spoke to me about having a license, or, you know, having the opportunity to promote different carriers, I didn't say anything to you at the time because you didn't even know I was in telecoms, but I listened to you. And what I was listening for was, who were you? That's what I was listening for. I was listening for, who were you? Because it's one thing to be a person where you've got a good opportunity and all the rest of it, but who were you? That's what I was listening for. And what I heard was someone with a big heart, someone that cared, someone that sounded very honest and straightforward. And we got into business without any agreements. If you think about it, we didn't sign any agreement whatsoever, you and I. You know what I mean? So we got into business together, and I had no reservations about being concerned about whether this guy might steal money from me or whatever. We got into a brotherly relationship and we worked them hard. And, you know, all I can say is that bond was formed, you know, way back in, you know, whenever it was. I can't remember it. I mean, it's a long time now, right?
1995.
1995. There you go. 1995, right? You know, you said it 27 years, right? So I guess, the journey to here, you know, I departed from multi-level marketing for a while just to acquire a life skill that I believe I could, you know, rely on just in case things didn't work out in the industry. So I dived into Forex trading in 2014, and that took me on another journey. learning about money and how money works and the money cycles and different asset classes and just how the emotional side of the human factor alongside the money factor, how that all kind of works together. Fear, greed, uncertainty, manipulation. I mean, a whole bunch of different things started to come out of the woodwork as a consequence of going on this journey with Forex trading and mixing that with personal development. So when you spoke to me originally in January of 2020, I remember the words to you, Keith, if you don't have something that can take me from 0 to 1 million in 8 weeks or 12 weeks, you don't have anything for me. Because at the time, I was deep into my coding, learning how to code, learning how to write an algorithm to trade Forex whilst I'm not at my screen. Because as much as I love Forex, I understand that it's about leverage. I want to be able to do and get on with my life, even if my own personal bot produces 12% a year, I would be happy with that. 20% a year, elated, 50% a year, absolutely through the roof, and we can build a business based on it. So I had all the structures in place. We were doing the tests. The tests were showing some amazing results, and something instinctively just told me to check the tests. So when I checked the tests and got into it in more detail, the results fell down. So in short, I have to basically go and recode and just tweak a few things. But along that process, from January to around about June, my fiance comes home and she says to me, her company wants her to upskill on blockchain technology. So I said to her, what the hell are they waiting to upskill on blockchain technology for? It's not as if you ain't got anything else to do. You manage 30 staff and you're busy and all the rest of it. But she said that they were looking at the potential disruption to their business in the next 3 to 5 years. They were looking at blockchain technology as a potential disruptor to their business in the next 3 to 5 years. Her company is a $1 billion cash-rich, no debt financial services company that has over $1 trillion on the asset management. So I said to myself, well, if a company with $1 trillion on the asset management is going to be looking at blockchain technology as a potential disruptor to their business, hello, I think it warrants some attention. So fast forward, you come down, I grill you for 4 hours, I interrupt your presentation. I was kindly rude at points, deliberately, just to test your resolve and your understanding and your belief in the whole thing. And when you left, I was like, that completely makes sense. Did my due diligence, got on a call with 2 individuals that I had that were more up to date with blockchain technology and more up to date with cryptocurrency trading than I was. And I had them listen to the presentation. Funnily enough, those 2 individuals didn't join. One of them have only just recently joined. The other one missing. But I took their counsel. They introduced me to some beautiful websites and information. And that allowed me to come back to yourself and Robert Thompson at the time and ask some questions. And once I got those questions answered, alongside more due diligence, I was 100% here. And then when I found I don't know if you remember, I called you up one evening and I said, Keith, have you seen that series called The Next Blockchain? And I said, that looks like Ryan Jew. So anyway, once that video series was in play, that added to my belief even more. And consequently, I've always said that I joined this because what I saw was substance and sustainability. I saw a company that had built an infrastructure of different businesses across the blockchain space, which makes them, in my language, vertically integrated. Meaning if they've got access to exchanges, their own exchanges, mining, this and that, they are vertically integrated because they're making revenues from different sectors within the same industry. It's like if you're going to build a car and you decided, well, you're not only going to build a car, but you're going to own the tire manufacturing, you're going to own the engine side, you're going to own the steel. Therefore, you own all of the parts that make the full and complete puzzle. And that's what I loved about what I understood that I was about to embark on. And once I made that decision to become a member, and I spoke to you, I said, how's our friends doing, right? Because we have mutual friends in business, and you're saying one's doing 700 a day, another's doing 1,000 a day. I was thinking, my God, that's good going. And what that basically said to me was there was an opportunity to do the same, right? Because there was a path that was laid down by yourself and others. And I just decided that, yep, I was doing it. But when I made that decision, I didn't wait to make 500 a day, 1,000 a day, and all these big numbers that you'd spoken to me about. The very next day, after joining and receiving 0.5, that's when I decided I was successful in this. The system works, I was successful, and I am a VIP 5-star. Now what do I need to do to validate that? And so just basically got to work. I knew that I couldn't do it by myself. And I knew that there were people around me that I have a tremendous amount of respect and love for, and would have loved for them to see what I saw. So you share and you let people choose what they want to do. And so I made a decision. I was a VIP 5 and just didn't shirk the work. I mean, that's it.
What I loved about your journey is that it took me 10 months to get to VIP 5, and at that time, that was pretty much a good record. But you came along in July 2020, and you smashed that, and you did it in 8 months. And I thought, wow. But more importantly as well, not only did you smash it in 8 months, but you took 8 members, 8 individuals that you brought to the table directly. You spoke on the phone or you did a presentation to them, 8 individuals to the VIP 5-star position as well, front line to you. That's an achievement. I mean, listen, people call themselves leaders, but I don't call you a leader at all, because you could accidentally sponsor somebody who gets to VIP 5 and you're sitting on 500 million in sales. That's lucky. Great. I'm happy for you. Are you a leader? No. When you do what you have done, which is bring 8 people, you got 16 in total, but you do 8 individuals frontline to VIP 5, all done the correct way, is outstanding. That is at the level above excellence. And as I said, mad kudos, mad respect to you. And that's why I asked you to come on today, because yesterday, we spoke last night on the phone, and, we had, the winds picked up this week. I mean, we thought, the winds died down a little bit. That's what winter storms are like. One minute you think, okay, it's over now. Then another wind comes along. This week, I would say that we had probably 200 miles per hour winds this week. We've had a lot of things to deal. And you know what? I haven't worked for an employer for the best part of 37 years. But yesterday I understood what TGI Friday meant. Sorry guys, but I just had to put it out there. And funny enough, it was my calmest day. It was like it's the day after the weekly storm, the week storm. And yesterday I understood the importance of TGI Friday and why employees say that. But I woke up yesterday morning, like we spoke about this, and I'm very spiritual. I'm a believer. And, I always put the YouTube on as soon as I wake up. I never watch the TV. I don't watch the news. I don't watch any of the stuff that's on regular TV. I'm on YouTube and learning, and just information is different. It's different. So many channels. And of course, I'm subscribed to some Christian channels. And a word came yesterday, and I think I shared it with 1 or 2 in the community. And sometimes you're just waking up and okay, let's play this one. Yeah. And the message yesterday to me spoke volumes. It was from my pastor. I listened to him a lot, and his message yesterday was, how do you go from I believe to I still believe? And I was like, I watched it. Then I watched it again, and I thought, hold on, it's Friday. The storm has calmed a bit. I can catch my breath. And this is first thing I see, first thing in the morning, going from I believe to I still believe. And I felt that was a message that I needed to listen to yesterday, a word. Whether you're a believer or not, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is listen to just what that says. You go from I believe, because many believe, and we're all believers of whatever it is we're doing. But sometimes our belief is tested. Mm-hmm. We go through a period where outside forces, things that happen influence us, maybe negatively, knocks our confidence, affects our belief levels, and all of a sudden we're in this downward spiral of lack of confidence, and we get caught in that conversation which becomes uber negative of all the people you're talking to. You can't find a positive conversation in the course of a day. And I felt that that message yesterday was something that was given to me the day before leadership, and I knew that we had to cover that today. And I know we're going to drop something really heavy. So guys, if I were you, I'd go away and grab a pen and notepad, because today's training is going to be very, very special. But I wanted to just bring that up because I think that that is so relevant in the week that we've had, where we've had some difficult things to handle. In the week that we've had, that message to me yesterday spoke volumes. I heard it, and I heard it again. I listened to it 3 times, an hour and a half, the same message, in case I missed anything. But I thought that would be a good place for us to start here, and then to cover that throughout the entire training. Now, going forward, we talked about it, training is going to be very tight today, 2 hours, ladies and gents. And going forward, we'll give you 2 hours of training on a Saturday, okay? But I know that there's some special talent. Wow, 2,500 people watching today. I know there's some special talent within the community. And what I'd like to do is serve up that special talent. As I told you, I'm just an average, an average member here. There's some individuals that I've had the pleasure to listen to and watch from afar and admire that I'd like to introduce to the community in the coming weeks and months, because they have so much to say, and they'll help all of us here, even myself. But how do you take someone from I believe to I still believe when there's storms around, when everything looks like it's falling apart, breaking up? How do you get your mind going from I do believe, but you don't really 100%? And how do you get to I still believe? How do you make that leap into that place where it gets you centered again and back on track? It's so important to get your take on it, because I have my take on it. I'm just front line. I'm a fighter. I'll stay in the front line. I'm with my troops, with the community, and I step up. I'm there because I just believe that you lead by example. You stay in front. You lead by example. You show others that you're not going to be affected by these high winds, these winter storms. You can see it through, because you know it's not about fair weather community members. It's all weather community members. We have to be here through good times, bad times, and that's so important. So today's training is going to be really about making that leap. Well, more importantly, but I listened to a training of yours a couple of weeks ago. It's a couple of months now, your training, but I listened to it and I was truly inspired. It's 30 minutes. We're going to drop that in a bit later on. So guys, I said, get a pen and notepad. This is being recorded, so you're going to get the chance to have a listen to it again. But Clayton, I want your take on belief and staying in that space. You're smiling away because I know you too well. What's your take on it? Be gentle.
So I mean, as you were speaking there, about belief, I watch boxing, and from the point where Anthony Joshua said there are levels to this game, and he was talking about boxing, right? There are levels to this game, and there are levels to belief, right? There are levels to belief, to the point where it's you get to blind conviction, right? No one in the world can tell you anything about anything. You believe it, and that's it. And when belief becomes true for you, that's when you're really locked in, right? But until you get to a point where belief is 100% true for you, there's opportunities to waver. So for me, I belief is like developed with building blocks. If you were to go to an Anthony Robbins session, for example, he may talk about a chair. You know what I mean? And the chair has 4 legs on it, right? You take one of the legs away, and then all of a sudden it gets wobbly, right? The more legs you have on the chair, the more stable and solid it is. The more reasons you have to believe something, the stronger that belief can be. So, for example, one of the things that elevated, I'll give you 2 examples of things that elevated my belief in the Hyperverse, or the Hyperfund as it was at the time. I took the time to register on ASIC and get some information directly on one of the companies that I could get information on. Everybody was asking about numbers and profitability and all that sort of stuff. I just got what I could got, you know. So I got some information sent to me directly from Australia, and I've got it in a file, and I can look at it whenever I like, and like, okay, I get that. You know, as a Forex trader, it was incredibly satisfying for me to be able to go on to coinmarketcap.com, CoinGecko, and actually see that MOF, Molecular Futures, is just one, was a live, publicly traded currency. Unlike, for example, OneCoin, which some of you did, right? And I was like, where is the bleep, bleep, bleep coin? And no one could show me no coin. So for me, when I went as a Forex trader and I saw that there, that added to my belief. And then when I found the Amazon Prime series, Next Blockchain, and I watched episode 6, and I listened to what I believe was someone in Ryan Zhu who was, in my words, anti-establishment, doesn't necessarily believe that the way that the financial structure is necessarily the right way, and that Bitcoin and blockchain technology, or blockchain technology specifically, gives us the ability to address some of those social woes. So for me, what I heard was a billionaire with a conscience. That's what I heard. I own it. That's what I heard. Doesn't mean that's what you will hear when you listen to it. But I will say this, without blowing my own trumpet, I'm a good listener. And I'm trained in terms of what to listen for. So some people can speak, but what are they actually saying? What are they actually saying? And sometimes what they don't say is equally as important as what they do say. So as I listened to Ryan Zhu, you know, in episode 6, and the rest was really interesting, but episode 6 is really where it anchored it for me, even down to the point where they mention things like those who survived the winter and helped to build an ecosystem. If you were to slow that down and see where they punctuate that sentence, it ends up with Ryan Zhu and our company, right? So even little details like that for me was quite important. It spoke to the significance of the individuals that were being spoken about in the context of the entire industry. So for me, that added another level to my belief. And there's been additional things that have added to my level of belief. So my belief is stacked. There's loads of different contributors to that. So if you were to take one away, there's still a whole bunch to go. So there's a whole deck of cards to go through before I say, do you know what, I don't believe in this anymore. Because I didn't decide I believed this because I got my rewards the next day. There was way more to that. Way more to that. I got excited about blockchain technology first. I actually got excited about blockchain technology. Maybe that's the engineering me. But when I understood that there were these multiple applications of blockchain technology across multiple industries, from as basic as voting to dentistry to land to supply chain to the decentralization of finance, the greatest transfer of wealth of our entire generation. That's what I got excited about. And therefore, with a company that had a track record in the space, my belief just went, my belief has been going up ever since I joined, because I didn't just jump in to make money. I jumped in to learn about this industry as well. So I've been adding to my knowledge as I've been in this. I've been doing my due diligence on an ongoing basis. And as far as I'm concerned, and I said this to the team, and you'll hear me say it later maybe, the situation that we're in at the moment, I can genuinely say, inconvenienced, but not concerned. I have not received a withdrawal. So let's get it out there. You're going to hear it on the video. Let's get it out there.
Absolutely.
All of us have some pending withdrawals, or most of us at least have some pending withdrawals. I have pending withdrawals of significant numbers from the 10th of April, right? And I have been doing things as a result of my business activities with the Hyperverse and outside that have committed me to certain other, outgoings, right? So if, for example, this were to crash and burn, I've got to, do some juggling, right? But fortunately, I didn't set myself up to be totally reliant on what's going on over here. So when I say to you, inconvenienced, I am inconvenienced with the withdrawal situation, but I'm not concerned that the company is going to run away. So I don't wake up every morning in a fearful state that all of the things that we started to build as a family and a community and a group of individuals and extended family is suddenly going to disappear. Inconvenienced, but not concerned is where I am. So it's going to take a monumental shift with evidence, not rhetoric, solid, hard facts for my belief to move from where it is currently. And it's not blind. It's not blind. It's intuitive as well as business. Because I believe that with my experience across multiple industries, I have an ability to sniff out good business. I have never been scammed in the blockchain space. I don't believe I've ever been scammed in any business going in. Things may have changed on the way in, but going in, never been scammed. Why? Because I am not the guy that chases money. I'm always looking for substance and sustainability and a solid value proposition. And if those things don't exist, then I'm not a part of it. And as a consequence of that, my CV for being scammed is, touch wood, very, very solid. So no one can come to me and say I brought them this or that or this or that or this or that. I'm not the guy. So I say that to say, coming back to belief, I am unswerving in my belief in where this is going. And until I am proven wrong, I have no reason to doubt the belief that I've built up over this period of time from inception to today. Simple as that, really. So I'm not a flaky as
so you don't, because you have layers of belief, that's what I'm taking, because it's based it's not on the money, but it's based on the industry, the fascination of blockchain and what it's doing in different industries, and what you your due diligence here, what you know about the individuals, the company, the different elements of our entire ecosystem and what they've been able to achieve within the industry. You have layers of belief. So it's not if one thing gets affected or one thing, i.e. withdrawals, it's not going to affect your belief levels because it's stacked. And as you said, it's an inconvenience. And for some, it is an inconvenience. For others, they can patiently wait because this has been a blessing for them. Because I'm a firm believer, if you've been blessed abundantly here and you have something to say, call me up and see how I get on with you on that call. Because I will say that for me, and I'm sure for yourself and many others, okay, grateful is not even a big enough word to describe the feeling that I have. Now, I also, and some people have seen maybe a transcript of what I've said a couple of times, or maybe before in a previous leadership, how I look at what we're doing as a company, how we're trying to cope with the industry, with the circumstances that we all find ourselves in, with the market, the economy, the global situation, and not just the cryptocurrency space, but all spaces, okay? The only thing that seems to be going up are the prices in the shops and petrol. Other than that, and gas, electricity, essential service, and inflation. Everything else seems to be going down. So, guys, we know that. But for me, Clayton, and you know me very, very well, I try and find positives wherever I can. In whatever comes out on a daily basis, whatever happens, if I see that we've had a dozen withdrawal successes, and I know how many withdrawals go out every day, because you can easily do that on TronScan yourself if you know where to look. But again, if your education hasn't allowed you, what you've learned here hasn't allowed you to do that, or because you don't know where to look, because you spend most of your time maybe doing other things, then you're uninformed, and then you have an opinion based on no facts. But here's what I do know, is that every single day there are some positives that I can hang on to. And someone said something this week which was so funny when I heard it, and we were talking on the phone, and they said the most important thing is that they are still here. Some of you may have woken up to error code 404. That made me absolutely die when I heard that, because that's the worst feeling when you wake up, you see error code 404 when you go to log in or check a website. Then you know, hold on a minute. What these guys are doing are engaging with us. We all know that the communication could be better. Not could be. It sucks. Let's get it right, okay? It's not the greatest. It sucks. But they have a lot of things to deal with. They've had a lot of things to deal with in the past. They've got the market conditions, and they've got to also navigate through these very difficult times. And you have to appreciate that. Doesn't matter if they communicate or not. They're still doing what they have promised to do, which is to get us through. And you know, when it was a bull run, you know, and you're going to talk about that a bit later on, when we had that run throughout 2021. Okay, of course, after every bull run, we know what comes after that. And these guys knew that things were going to get tough, but they also knew that they had they've given us the most generous reward program and benefits package. If you got the education, if you plugged in, if you learned about how to navigate around the cryptocurrency space and take advantage of the benefits that you're being blessed with, as I said, many, 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 and we're not just talking about the best of the best, you know, the best networkers, the best builders, but we're talking about individuals who've never been successful anywhere else in the world of networking, in the world of community building, in the world of crypto, coming here and carving out their success here. And that's important to understand. And they're still here and trying to make everything right. And of course, as I said, once the communication starts, once we get some communication, then we might have a better understanding of what they've had to go through and what they're trying to achieve. Okay. But as I said, Clayton, the message was, how do we get to I still believe when we've had a week of winter storms, high winds, and things that have happened which has probably tested our resolve? How do we go to I still believe based on outside influences, individuals saying it's all over, that's it, we're gone, but yet we're not. And I heard this week 3 or 4 other companies just gone. And some members here were involved in those other deals as well. Sadly, I feel for them, but I've been planted here from day one. But how do we help members to get over that, especially when they're getting a lot of information in which could be conflicting and it affects their belief?
There's on another day, I'll show you a cycle that we share in our trainings with the group. But it basically it's just a cycle that starts off with understanding, right? Understanding leads to belief. Belief leads to commitment. Commitment leads to action. Action leads to results. If you take the correct action, you get the correct results. And when you get the correct results, it kind of like feeds back into your understanding and belief and so on and so forth. So there's a cycle, but it begins with understanding. And quite often when you don't understand something, you're going to make stuff up. And quite often you'll make that stuff up in your mind based upon your own fearful paradigms. Do you know what I mean? You know, unless you're naturally optimistic, you may make stuff up that's naturally optimistic. But the vast majority of people, when they don't understand, they tend to make stuff up that actually makes them fearful. That's just the reality. You know, there's a phrase that basically says people tend to have their, strongest opinions where they have the weakest amount of knowledge. So sometimes you hear people getting up on their soapbox talking, I'm just going to say it, gibberish. But when you actually drill down and say, okay, fine. So, you know, what made you say that? On what basis? What gives you reason to say that? They can't point to anything rational. They can't point to anything factual. It's all imaginary. So for me, I think it's really important in the absence of the company clarifying stuff. that we do the best we can as leaders to give people an understanding of the environment that we're in, because we're all in this environment, but we're all responding differently to the environment that we're in. Do you know what I mean? And it's no different to the world. Some plants will grow in the sun, some will wither in the sun. Do you know what I mean? Some will grow without water, some will grow with water. I mean, it's just we respond differently in our environment. So that is the interesting part about where we are in this, what I call this season of Hyperverse right now, because you see individuals showing, in my humble opinion, where they are in their own personal development and where they are in their own skin. You know, and in our team, we talk about relationships with money and so on and so forth. So I see a lot of behaviors and reactions that are actually, in the grand scheme of things, unnecessary and a waste of time. And you know, when we play the video, some of that will come out. But the reality of it is that you know, you talk about being stoic. The bottom line is, you know, if you only seek to control those variables which you can control, your life is so much simpler. And if you choose to take on those things that you cannot control with a positive paradigm or with critical thinking, at least, why is that happening? Why is that happening? What could be the potential effects of that? And you prepare for the potential effects of that. For example, if I were to say to you, and I'm not saying this is true, but the Ukraine war is going to affect the price of wheat. The price of wheat will go up. What might you prepare for? You might naturally prepare for your bread to increase in price, or your cereals to increase in price, or you'll prepare for these things. But if you don't even have a correlation and critical thinking as to what this happening here may cause over here, you've got no capacity to make or take positive action. You're just going to be reacting. And when the price of bread or the price of cereal goes up, you curse because you weren't expecting it, because you didn't want it to happen, because it wasn't something you planned for. But what happens if it was something that you planned for? Then your reaction to it may be different. So I just feel blessed. I feel I understand everything that's going on and all of the emotional turmoil and all the different aspects of what's going on in this community, because those that are, I think, being affected the most were the ones that had the highest of expectations and planned the least. And what do I mean by that? So I know that there will be individuals in the community that have planned an amazing lifestyle based upon their hyperverse income. Rightly or wrong, there's no judgment here. It's just a fact. Some have. And so if that is now being paused, or, you know, there is inconvenience coming as a result of that, the emotion that goes with that, because now you've destroyed my plans, you've taken my hope away, you hyperverse have done all of this stuff. You company that's not communicating have done all this stuff. And so now you're in victim mode because it's being done to you. Who wants to be the victim? No one wants to be a victim, but our behaviors sometimes can just be naturally victim type behaviors. They are doing it to us. They are doing it to us. They're doing it to us. Well, there's always more than one side to a story. So for me, I just think that there is every opportunity for us to stand in the space of responsibility and plan. You know, in our team, we talk about, you know, if you're gonna run away from your job, if you've got plans to do that, make sure you've got 12, 18 months, preferably 24 months worth of salary banked. So you have a safety net, you know, some level of additional certainty beyond depending week in, week out on the hyperverse. And why we may choose to do that is because we believed in it in the first place. But what we did not do was to factor in any other circumstances beyond our own narrow set of beliefs. And I'll give you an example. Maxine, my fiance, we did an exercise one morning, and we call it just long lining. You know, what could be some of the things that could happen in the future with hyperverse to change the way things are happening? We did that exercise. some of those things are actually happening now, right? We can't like just project it a year down the line, because I'm a businessman at the end of the day, and you know, there are just certain on paper things that, you know, you do this and that appears on your balance sheet, do that appears on your balance sheet as a business. Debts and, you know, credits, and, you know, so when you look at the business critically and you break it all down, there are certain things that you could reasonably anticipate could potentially happen if certain environments change. But if you don't have that framework, then everything's going to be done to you because there's been no anticipation. In Forex trading, I learned about anticipating the markets. So when things happen, like inflation, interest rates are going to go up and all the rest of it, I could probably show you a chart that will give you evidence of that was going to happen regardless, right? But that's a whole nother story. So the reality of it is that I just think that as we stick together as a group and we learn together, because we're all on different paths on our journey of self-discovery and learning and so on, our understanding of the markets, our understanding of self, if we are prepared to put ourselves in an environment where we can collectively grow, I think it will be very, very healthy for us. I personally, and this is Clayton Ford speaking, I don't wake up in the mornings being concerned about what's going to happen with this company. I still believe that they're going to deliver on their objectives. Still believe that they're going to deliver on their objectives. Are they having to make some maneuvers to make it happen? Absolutely. But as you hear on the video, we'll say it. We are still here. So, Mr. Williams, I'm going to hand over to you for a moment.
You know, I was just listening to you, and obviously you've probably seen I was on the chats as well, because, you know, I'm getting a few remarks and questions, and I'm dealing with that whilst listening to you as well. You know, I said it a couple of weeks ago, and I will repeat it again. When you enter as a member here, there is a belief that this is going to change your world overnight, and it has done that for many. If you sort of relatively speak about the time frame, it has changed many lives dramatically.
Definitely.
And so the feelings, you come in here and it can do the same for you. But I said it a few weeks ago that the responsibility of Hyper, the board, is to ensure that everybody, at least when they come in, are able to get 1 times back. Now, if there are individuals on here in that basket, let me say this to you now, that is the priority. But also when we enter Hyper, we also understand that it's a business that has to try and make profit in order to return the beautiful blessings that they have done. Now, they've done it for 2 years. 2 years. The last 6 months may be challenging, but things have changed globally. But for 2 years, since I started, they have delivered abundantly. They've given an overflow to so many members here. So many. We're not just talking a handful. We're talking tens of thousands of members all around the world. And some have been blessed so much that their lives have changed, and now Hyper becomes their main source. It's the thing that they are reliant on. It's the thing that they look forward to getting every single day. And I've been around in the space a long time, and I've seen a lot of things in this space, but I've never come across a company that has delivered so much to so many in the short space of time it has done. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you the fact, guys, please understand. If you are in that basket I talk, that's a priority basket. And they know that the individuals that are in that basket, which means that they should at least get 1 times. But if you built a team, and now this is what I want to say to individuals who are used to a certain amount of rewards coming in every day, because I've built this team and I want to get paid, or I want to get my rewards, I want to get my withdrawals through because I've done the work. Well, let me say this now. When you read the terms and conditions at Kira, it does not say guarantee in any of the clauses, any of the terms, any of the points there. There's no such word as guaranteed rewards or withdrawals. It doesn't say guaranteed. And if you have benefited, and you've adjusted your life to the point where this is your ticket to wherever it is you want to go. And now there's some disruption. let me just say this to everyone, that the important thing is to understand that these guys have delivered and delivered and delivered, and they will continue to deliver. And even though they've got to control so that the market doesn't crash, because we don't want that either. We don't want individuals just going off and taking advantage, because they need, and they don't care about anybody else. Their personal situation is more important than anybody else. That is what I see as well. And it saddens me, because for me, the most important thing, Clayton, the most important thing is that if they've given you a lot more than you started with, you should be the last person making a lot of noise because I built this huge team and I'm not getting paid on it anymore. I understand that, but we are in a very, very difficult marketplace, and they're trying to navigate through this marketplace where everything is down. The whole industry is about trying to make profit. Well, if the prices of tokens and coins are down, if there's less people on the exchanges and doing transactions, if Bitcoin or whatever they're mining is down, so they're getting less today for the coins that they're mining, so there's very little profit. How can they kick that back to every single person who wants because they've built? The most important thing, as I said, and if you are on here, and I said it, and I say all the time, 1 times is the first base. You get 1 times, and some of you have got that back already. If you haven't, understand this, your priority. Everybody else, even including myself, I'm not a priority. I am grateful. I could work for the next 2 years in the front line of this community, ensuring that they deliver, fighting for the individuals that have a genuine grievance. Everybody else, you might think, yeah, it's all right for you to say that, but put the work in that I've done, because everybody has got what they deserve. Some people have got more than they deserve. Some people have done nothing and have enjoyed the best time of their lives because they just happen to be positioned above a massive team. And that happens. So all I'm saying, Clayton, is the most important thing is that we just got to understand that these guys are obviously navigating, working through the challenges in a market that's depressed in order that we can continue. Okay, and that gives me that's the little hope, the little ray of hope, sunshine that I hang on to, because what else can I do? What else will I be doing? What else do I want to do? I want to be here, making sure that I'm frontline and I'm here to help everyone that needs it. Not those individuals, unfortunately, because they have to pay for this, they've got to do that, and they built a big team and they haven't had anything. Well, we're in the same boat together. We're all in the same boat, and that's why. So we've got something to drop and show the members on here that I've asked to go and get a notepad and pen. Not everybody's probably gone and done that, but we've got something that's going to give people a different perspective, I'm sure, and then we'll wrap up in about an hour's time. But I mean, as I said, Clayton, listen, I have empathy, I understand, and I do sympathize. But listen, if you've done very well here, and unfortunately you are now dependent on the withdrawals, you're dependent, if it's been 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and you're dependent on it, just think back to your journey. Yes, you might have built a team. Yes, you've done well. You've built an organization, and they've rewarded you as well. Then let's be honest, okay, right? Can you hang on until things are put right? Can you? Because you should be saying, I should hang on, because I'm truly grateful for what I've received here, for what I've been able to do here, and also how the company has blessed me. You should be like that. It should be the first thing. But again, as you said, individuals sometimes may just focus on, what's going on with them. And I know that's important. But for me, the most important thing is that they are here and they stay here. Most important thing, that they're here and they're working through the challenges with ideas, considering where we are in the marketplace. That to me is the most important thing. The most important thing. And of course, individuals who clearly have got to get back, who've got to get into that position where they've been able to withdraw what they started with. And that's a fact. And we know that. And let me say that that group is a much smaller group than everybody else that wants. It just happens to be a much smaller group than everybody else that wants their withdrawal. Does that make sense, Clayton? I don't know if that makes sense to everybody that I'm speaking to out there.
Well, it makes sense to me, but not only does it make sense, I have evidence. Because I have family, and I've basically got members of the family where my grandsons they're not 18 yet, so I'm responsible for their accounts. The reality of it is that I have seen both HVT and MOF withdrawals come through for those accounts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they're not community building, but this will be their first, second, or maybe third withdrawal, and it's coming through. So it's not as if, it's not to say it's not blind. Do you know what I mean? My big withdrawals aren't coming through, but my grandchildren's small withdrawals are coming through. And as far as I'm concerned, that just validates what it is that you're saying. But I come back to the context of when individuals don't understand what's going on, then they're at liberty to go off in their own minds, making things up and not feeling great about it. When we started off by saying that the company needs to communicate, we all agree on that. So let's just get it out. We all agree the company needs to communicate way better. But as you hear on the video, is that what they do culturally? Because we have to also consider who are we in business with, and do they do business the same? Do you go and bow when you go into your boardroom meetings or your HR meetings or any meetings in the UK, the United States, or wherever? Or do you go and bow when you go to China or Hong Kong or wherever the case may be? There are different cultural ways that individuals do business. There are different types of governance and governments and approaches to community. And maybe, and I'm not saying that we are, I'm just saying maybe we're experiencing the way they go about doing business. I'll give an example. As a man, men are quite often known, this is a generalization, so I know this. We go into our man cave and we sort stuff out, and then when we sort it out, we come out of our man cave. But whilst we're in our man cave, we don't talk, we don't say what's going on, we hide our feelings until we work through what we need to work through. Not saying it's right or wrong, but it is a way that sometimes things are done. So whilst we may not appreciate the way the company is going about doing what they're doing, maybe that's just their way. And here's another thing that most people don't know. This company is new to community building.
Yes.
This company is new to community building. November 2019, this company was blockchain geeks.
Yeah.
Community building totally new to them. So they are still learning. And when Mr. Williams tells you, the rapid growth that has happened in the last X number of months, I mean, if you're sitting on the other side of that, it's a tremendous amount to take on board. I mean, when we're sitting at home in our own comfort zones and it's all about us and we've got no concept of what might be happening behind the scenes, no concept. I'm fortunate enough to have worked in small companies, myself and Keith Williams, hands-on, to big retail organizations with multi-million pounds, of retail revenues coming every single day, and multi-million-dollar projects that failed to deliver.
Yeah.
I was with my last contract, big contract. I think they invested close to 20 million on new technology to improve their supply chain. And it got to a point where the disruption to their existing legacy stuff, they had to basically stop that project. 20 million in. Sometimes that's not always perfect. It's not always a straight line. Sometimes there are some bumps and bruises along the way. And it's just a question of who are you when those bumps and bruises come, So for me, before we play the video, I think it's just a case of if we can somehow collectively agree at some point to be on side and understanding that there are things that are being looked at in the background. And whilst the company's not communicating specifically, I know Mr. Williams, will have hints and ideas around what's going on. And just from a business perspective, I have some good ideas as to what's going on. I would prefer that they told me specifically, but even without that, I get it. You know why? the lights are still on. So I would suggest, Mr. Vid, we run
we've sort of delivered an hour, just shooting the breeze, getting our leaders here to understand how our mind works and how the attitude that we have and our belief levels. And of course, I don't think anyone can challenge my belief levels nor your belief levels. And there are many in our camp. Not everybody's on the same side as us, and that's fine. I understand that, and I'm not going to sit here and cast an opinion on anybody's decisions here. That's down to the individual. But here's what I will do, and I will say, is that yes, the lights are still on, and that means we play every day. Every day we go out into battle, and we make sure that we stay focused and we handle whatever comes at us, because this has been a couple of weeks where I've had to handle a lot of stuff, but it's okay because I'm made of tough stuff and I've got broad shoulders, and I've always known.
You need it.
Once you go through the summer, you're going to get an autumn and winter. And 2021 was our summer. It was our spring summer. And now we are in very much in winter now, and we had our autumn. So for me, I know that, after winter, and we will get through winter, we'll get into spring again. New shoots will come through. We'll have new growth. We'll have new mindset, new attitude, and we will lose a few trees, and we will lose a few members that will probably say, well, I'm better served elsewhere. Here's what I will say to everybody, though. Please, here's what I will say to everyone. Be very careful in a bear market. Be very careful when the economy is bad and everyone's suffering, because that's when, how can I put it? That's when you'll have multiple opportunities to look at. I'm sure you've had it already, and multiple deals that look so good that that's your shortcut to success, because it's not happening, or maybe you can't wait here. I'll just encourage everybody to be very careful. Be very careful on your decisions and what you do if you are looking outside of our platform. I'm not saying to you can't look. I'm just saying to you, whenever things are bad and the economy's bad, I guarantee you have dozens of new opportunities popping up. And I'll give them 6 months. 6 months.
Generous.
Generous.
We're generous. But anyway.
Guys, see, again, positives. We've been here 2.5 years. 2.5 years. And 2 years has been, well, bliss. Been incredible. For those that were in very early, brilliant. And did something, brilliant. For those that even joined last year, became members last year and went to work, fabulous, brilliant. You've had the best time. For those of you who want that, well, we're in a winter, but spring will come. We will have green shoots. We'll have a market that turns around, and that will happen. And the main thing is the lights are still on, and we're still here, and we're still leading from the front in the battle with our community. And that's the most important thing. That's the rules that I work to. That's my book. That's what I get up every day and say, right, what do I need to do today to help the community and keep us going forward with the right mindset and right attitude? What I'm going to do now, Clayton, is I'm going to play a 30-minute training that you delivered. So guys, this is a special treat for you. 30-minute delivery that was incredible. I was able to just be just amazed at the content and the quality of the content. So I want to share that with everybody. It's about 30 minutes. We're going to come back at the back end and talk about our, wrapping up and how we're going to go forward with regards to leadership on Saturday, because there's so much talent in the community. And I can't wait to introduce you to some of the incredible leaders that will add value every Saturday. Just think of it as your 2-hour sessions, like, that you need every single Saturday, that will get you fired up and pumped up, but also get you from I believe to I still believe, because that's the most important thing. So what I'm going to go to do now is share my screen. Let me know, guys, if you can see my screen. You should be able to see it. Just give me a heads up if you can. Clayton, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dale. Brilliant. Guys, grab a note pad and pen. It's we're going to go straight into it. Challenging times, excerpt 1. So there was the excerpt 2, 3, 4. But you delivered this training about 2 months ago to your team, and your team is so privileged to have you as a leader and as a mentor to many of them. And again, as I said, we're brothers, so I know your skill sets and what you can do. But I was amazed when I listened to this, and I loved the content. So guys, this is a treat for you on a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon on leadership, and something slightly different. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. You should be able to see my screen. Let me know if you can.
Is the fact that there are some things going on, and there may be a question as to how can we possibly community build in the midst of this current situation, right? So that could be a question that someone could reasonably be asking. So where I would be coming from, if somebody were to pose that question to me, is just to drill down into that a little bit and just ask, what is the current situation? I mean, what is the current situation? Because the reality of it is we have to fess up to the fact that the company hasn't been great in communicating to us what exactly is going on behind the scenes. All I can say to you, based upon what I know and what I've heard and what I'm not obliged to be able to share, not that it's anything amazing, is just that this is not going to crash and burn, right? This is not going to crash and burn. This is not being set up to crash and burn. And for me to hear that from reliable sources is a testimony to what I saw when I originally joined: substance and sustainability. And this whole conversation that's being had in and around the community at the moment is all because of the company's intention to remain sustainable, regardless of how inconvenient it may feel. So the question is, what is the current situation? Well, the reality of it is there are facts that we know and there are facts that we don't know, right? There are absolute facts that we know and there are facts that we do not know. So here are some of the facts that we do know. We know that we've launched a Hyperverse. We know that we have transitioned or are transitioning to Hyperverse 2.0. We know that when we go into our back office, there are new initiatives popping up all over the place, mining this and, airdrops this and Bitcoin this. And, there's lots going on in the back office. We also know that there are limited withdrawals. It's not completely across the community. We know that there are individuals that are able to withdraw. However, a vast majority are not able to withdraw. So there are limited withdrawals at the moment. We know that. We know also through communication that there's been an abuse of the system that was set up right from the get-go. The founders didn't necessarily see it coming. However, it came and it happened. And now part of what's going on is them having to deal with it. We also know that there is generally a poor level of communication coming from the company. We have to just all be very, very open and transparent about that. We would love to have more detailed information coming from the company itself. Forget leadership. Forget Mr. Keith Williams, Kalpesh Patel, any of the nodes, super nodes, myself, any of the VIP 5 stars in this group. It's not necessarily our responsibility to fabricate information based upon a lack of information. I am not going to come and say anything to you that I am not 100% sure of or have been told. That's just not what we do, or not what I suggest we do, just to pacify a number of individuals. Unless I hear it from the horse's mouth, there will be nothing that you're going to hear from me. And I would suggest that there's nothing that your teams will hear from you unless you hear it from either myself, having come from Mr. Williams, and therefore if it's come from Mr. Williams, you can pretty much be guaranteed that it's come from the supernode calls and the corporate side of the business, right? So we also know that we've heard that some leaders have left. Okay, so everybody has a choice that they can make. We also know that Hope Hill has left. Our compliance officer has decided to leave, and she's also apparently, touting for business within the community. These are some of the facts that we know, right? So these are some of the facts that we know. But here is one major fact that I would like you to take to the bank. We are still here. We are still here. We are still here. And until anything else changes, that is the most important thing. We are still here. There are other opportunities that have come and have definitely gone, and they have gone within a way shorter period of time than we have been around. I mean, November of this year will be 3 years. 3 years in November. Some opportunities that I'm sure you would have heard of didn't even last 90 days because they did their Bitcoin grab or their Ethereum grab or whatever their intention were, their short-term intention. They did it successfully, and they've gone. Our company is here building towards the future. Yes, they're in some choppy waters right now, but that is the main fact that I would encourage you to hold on to. We are still here. And then we have a bigger choice to make further down the line as to whether we include ourselves or I include myself, that's speaking to you, whether I include myself in the bigger we are still here. So that's really where, you've got to decide. So the question is really going to come down to, where is my focus? Where is my focus? Where is my focus? Now, some of you may be looking at the screen and actually thinking, well, there's a spelling mistake. There's a deliberate spelling mistake there, because you can either be focusing on the question as to where is my focus right now, or you could be focused on the fact that there is a deliberate spelling mistake. If you're focusing on the fact that there is a deliberate spelling mistake, you are missing the bigger picture. The bigger picture is, what is your focus right now? Where is your focus right now in terms of what we are doing, what we are a part of, where we are going, and so on and so forth? What are you doing for your family and so on? So there's so many places that you could be putting your focus right now. Some individuals are choosing to put their focus in areas where there is going to be no return whatsoever apart from emotional turmoil. The videos at the beginning, as Dr. Tamir, rightly pointed out, there's some strong messages in there. One of the big ones is only control that which you can control. I mean, at the end of the day, you or I have no control as to what this company is going to do tomorrow with the Hyperverse, with the HyperCommunity, with NFTs, with whatever they are doing. We have no control of that. And we experience that every day. We see a new banner pop up in our back office. We had no control over that. The banner popped up and we chose whether we participate or not in whatever it is that they are putting forward. So you have to decide really where your focus is. But here's what we also have to acknowledge. We have to acknowledge what people care about, because ultimately, most of us, if not all of us, are self-serving in one way, shape, or form. We say that we do this because of X, Y, or Z, but the reality of it is, let's face it, if you really break it down, there is some feeling that we enjoy as a result of doing X, Y, or Z. So yes, we may be doing things that are great for the greater good, for the individual next door, sharing this opportunity. But when you break it down, you will be sharing that opportunity or everything else, because at the end of the day, there is a beautiful feeling that you are enjoying as a result of it. Those of us that love to give and care about people, there is something that we get feeling-wise when we see that we've taken care of someone else, we've helped someone else, and so on. So don't be oblivious to the fact that we are self-serving in nature. It's just a question of how self-serving are we? Are we, so giving that we are selfless, or we are so taking that we are selfish? It's just different ends of the spectrum, but it's all self-serving nevertheless. So I want to make a point here in terms of the question, what do I care about? Because what you tend to care about will magnify the feeling that someone in your team might be having right now. Because, for example, I care about me, right? I care about me. So this withdrawal, if I just focus on withdrawals just for a second, this withdrawal thing is affecting me. It's affecting me. So therefore, I don't like it. I have negative feelings towards it. But the question is, you can choose to feel differently about it. Team members can choose to feel differently about it. But when you are so isolated about just yourself and what it means to me, I totally get it. And I would suggest that you should too, so that you can understand why there are some of the comments in the groups and so on and so forth. It's just human nature. What else do we care about? I care about my family. What else do I care about? My household. What else do I care about? My neighborhood, maybe. What else do I care about? My community. So these are things that we may care about. And if anything is affecting that, then we take it in whatever way we choose to take it personally. And we have feelings and emotions that go with that is not necessarily that great. And we just got to understand that may truly exist. But the point I really want to make is the fact that there are bigger forces at play here. It's okay for us to be me-focused, family-focused, but there is a place that we live in called, whether it be your continent or your country. There is things that are happening in your country right now, our country right now, that's indirectly affecting us. There are things that are happening in the economy that are indirectly affecting us or even directly affecting us. If you've seen an increase in the price of your bread or your petrol recently, that is because of things that are happening in the economy. There are things that are happening in this industry, my industry, whatever industry you may be in, automotive, entertainment, whatever industry you may be in. In this environment that we're in, this community, we're in the blockchain and cryptocurrency industry. And there are things that are happening in there. One of those actually, Whitney Smart, sorry, my bad. Whitney Smart, basically, a message just went out into the groups and she made a comment around what she believes or understands is happening in the marketplace right now. I will share with you that, I have had, I'm just going to call it reliable information telling me that, this whole bear market has been completely and utterly fabricated. And basically, there are forces at play, let's just say, trying to destroy cryptocurrency. But the sheer fact that, you have very few cryptocurrencies going to a value of zero. The ones that had no value in the first place, they're likely to go to zero. But the ones that still have value are showing that they actually have value, regardless of whether Bitcoin's going down or Ethereum's going down, because there is a bear market, and I'll get into that very, very shortly. The reality of it is there is still value there. So there are forces at play in the industry level that's affecting us individually as well as the business itself that we're in. We're not isolated from the industry and what's going on in the sector of our industry, DeFi, blockchain, and so on. We're not insulated from that. We're absolutely not insulated from that. But when we only care about me, why would we care about my industry, my economy, my sector of industry? We wouldn't care about that because our focus is too small. But we have to understand why that is. So my point is, if we can expand our focus beyond just ourselves, we may have a little bit more empathy, patience, understanding as to what is going on, or at least have some, notion as to what is going on. There are national affairs taking place in your individual regions. I'm here in the UK. Dr. Tamir is over there in the United States. We have individuals in the Caribbean, Canada, and so on. There are things that are going on out there that may seem to be disconnected, but actually they are connected because they are global affairs. And we all know what's going on. We know there is a war. Let's just call it that for the time being. Now, when we get into the real machinations of war, when you get down to it, there's always some resource at stake and there's always big money to be made, right? That's really what it comes down to. You check any single war, go back in history, and it's all about money and resources. That's just simply what it's all about. And we, are not insulated from that. Neither are you. Hence the reasons why you have delays in cars and all these types of things, food prices going up, petrol prices going up. There is things that are happening on a much bigger level than just where you push your keys and go into to go and sleep and rest and so on and watch TV. There is so much going on way beyond all of that. And for those of you that are that way inclined, intergalactic affairs, we won't go there because I know that will just blow some of your minds. So let's not even go there. But the reality of it is all I'm saying is that we have to have an understanding that some of the responses and the way people are behaving in the community is coming as a result of their self-serving nature, their selfish nature, and the focus on the me rather than necessarily what is going on a much bigger scale. But the reality of it is that we're either going to influence what's going on or there's going to be a major impact on what's going on. And I'd much rather us be on the influencing side where we're cultivating and helping the company to achieve its longer term objective. Yes, I put my hands up on their behalf to say they are poor at communicating. But I'm also going to say, just based on where I am at personally, you don't have to be there, right? Because we all have to make our own decisions. I am still 100% comfortable that this company is going to deliver on its promises. That's just where I'm at, right? And I'm encouraging everyone else to, pick a side, basically. Are you going to be on the side of influencing positively or potentially having a negative impact? That's just going to be a choice that we all have to make. But my main point is I'm encouraging everyone to have a slightly broader perspective, because in the grand scheme of things, if you think about, and I spoke to Valencia Pamphile just very, very briefly, and she said something that kind of inspired this particular slide I'm going to show you here. if you think about you joining the Hyperverse, you know, we've put in thousands, right? We've put in thousands. And that's our interest. We have put in thousands, I have put in thousands, and therefore that's all I'm interested in. And that's understandable. Again, it comes down to this whole concept of being self-serving. But the reality of it is that when you step it up and you then get to the community overall so far has put in excess of 2 billion, as I understand it. So there's 2 billion that's come in terms of the forms of, you know, new membership value and rebuys. So it's much bigger than our individual 1,000, but collectively it's grown to be something very, very significant collectively, right? And then when we get to the next level, and now we go to the industry level, well, our thousands pales into insignificance on an individual level with the trillions that were there before we even arrived. You know, this is a multi-trillion-dollar industry we're now in. Just go onto CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko and look at the cumulative value of all of the cryptocurrencies on these exchanges. It's in the multi-trillions, 1 or 2 trillion, depending upon, you know, the price of the individual coins overall. But the reality of it is that in relation to our thousands, it's insignificant in terms of the trillions. However, it is part of that trillions as well. So we can't ignore that, but it's just to say there is a much bigger picture at play. When the market makers, and I'm going to start talking about trading very, very quickly, when the market makers are making their moves, they're not going after your individual 10,000 or somebody else's 10,000 that might be on an exchange. They are going after the billions. That's what they're going after. So, and when they go after the billions, it affects the thousands that we had. Hence the reasons why you see, for example, things happening to the price of Bitcoin and across the board and so on. So all I'm basically saying with these sets of slides are we have to do a better job of thinking just beyond our immediate concerns, our immediate needs, and look at what we're a part of. We are part of, and I say over and over again, we are, whether we chose to sign up to it or not, we are at the vanguard of change. And this, what we're experiencing right now, is part of the pioneering turmoil that comes with being leaders in this entire new industry called cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. And within that, the sector called the decentralization of finance. You may not have signed up to that when you joined the Hyperverse, but because we are part of a much bigger picture, we get impacted by it. We get impacted by it. We cannot ignore the impact that the much bigger picture has on us individually, and it has on the company as well. We would be naive at best, but I understand why we could both be naive when we're only thinking about where we basically put our keys, you know, on a day-to-day basis. So my encouragement to you is just to think a little bit bigger, and then I'm encouraging you to pick a side, because ultimately you have some individuals, and you may have noticed there's some, you know, Mick Mulcahy, for example, and Goran, you know, can't pronounce his last name. My apologies, no disrespect. They're no longer presenting, apparently. And the reason why, as I understand it, is until they are more comfortable with the situation, they will no longer be presenting. And I get that. So they will firmly be in the camp of I won't until the company, you know, fixes what it needs to fix. My particular thought on that is irrelevant, but my particular thought on it nevertheless is you show what side you're on when you do that. You show a certain level of loyalty or otherwise when you do that. Ultimately, it's a choice, no judgment. I'm just saying it the way I see it. Clayton Ford sees it. I see that I won't until as being, well, I'm not as loyal as I possibly could. And I get it, because if you're not comfortable promoting something to someone else that you're not feeling right now, then I get it. And so therefore, you know, you have members of your team that may down tools, and we get it. But ultimately, we have to pick a side, and you know, the side that I'm choosing is I will until. So I will continue sharing this, because it's not as if I am sharing it with a knowingness that this is illegitimate and unreal and a Ponzi and a this that some people think it is. I am gonna do this until I am proven wrong. And if I'm proven wrong, then you know that will be a very sad day. But I don't have that feeling in my gut that that's gonna happen, right? But again, we just got to pick a side. Let's just keep it simple. You got the left side. I'm gonna keep promoting this and help the company to grow even through this difficult time. Because I believe that what will happen is a certain number of individuals will get shaken out, and that's fine. Sometimes you have to shake up things. Sometimes you have companies that transition, they get taken over, and the first thing that they do is they lean down, they cut out dead wood, they reduce costs, and they go again and they rebuild. So we may well be in that phase right now. I don't necessarily know that that is 100% the case, but it makes business sense to me based upon all of the inputs that I have seen and heard so far. So with that being said, I encourage you to do the same. Pick a side. I won't until, or I will until, and just keep it that simple. And then it keeps it very, 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 very simple. I will until, or I won't until. I won't until, or I will until. That's really how I basically see it. So with that being said, the markets in general. So I'm just going to quickly talk about the markets in general. So just to do that real quickly, I'm just going to show you something in terms of a trading chart. That's the word I'm looking for. That is showing you what is happening to Bitcoin at the moment. Now, I obviously won't be able to teach you how to trade in 2 minutes, right? That's not the point of the exercise. But I want to show you something really, really quick. And just trust me when I say this for a moment. I'm going to highlight a price point on this chart, which the industry and analysts would have called at the time an all-time high. So when Bitcoin got to here, right, this was an all-time high, right? So let's assume that's the case and look to the left. There's nothing to the left at the moment. And again, this chart doesn't go back to when Bitcoin started, but 60-odd thousand is at the time was an all-time high based upon what I know and what the chart is telling me, right? So that was an all-time high. When you have an all-time high on any chart, don't care what chart it is, whether it's the NASDAQ, whether it's Forex, I don't care what it is, an all-time high sets a new price point where profits can be made significantly, right? So look at what happened when that all-time high was made. And let me tell you this, that didn't happen by accident. It happened by design. That price point happened by design. You don't have to believe me, and I quite frankly, don't care. I've been trading now for, since 2014, and there's a lot that you learn over, 7-8 years. But the reality of it is that all-time high represented a unique price point and a significant profiting point for a number of large institutions, large investors, or you may call them whales. Look at what happened when that all-time high was achieved. When that all-time high was achieved and that price point was set, the market started to go down. Right now, as the market is going down, now I'm on what's called a weekly chart. So this looks very, calm. But when you go down to some of these lower time frame charts, the movements look really quick, and it's those quick movements that quite often get individuals into the market or out of the market because they're looking at things on too small a time frame, right? So coming back to my point, an all-time high was made. And so what happened was there was some selling off, these guys, taking their profits, but also those that were greedy and thought that Bitcoin would continue to go up did not sell their Bitcoin at that point. They continued to hold in the hope that it would continue to go up. So that's the greed side. Look at all of this, what's called a bull run. This massive weekly, this happened for a whole year basically, because between this line and this line is essentially 1 year. And so for the vast majority of that year, Bitcoin was bullish. And then Bitcoin continued to be bullish for the first part of the year after that. Profits were taken, scared a lot of people out of the market. So whilst the market was going down, the savvy individuals were buying Bitcoin. They were buying Bitcoin. Now, let me show you something else. Again, I'm not teaching you how to trade, but just based upon what I understand from the charts. This price point here, based upon this low price point here, and again, I ain't got time to go into it, is very significant. This entire candlestick here, for those of you that understand trading, is very significant. You'll notice that price came back down into it. These guys were extremely happy. They were selling at profit, but also at the same time, strategically buying more Bitcoin at lower prices. As soon as it got back down to a proven price point beforehand, notice what happened. They had accumulated enough Bitcoin here to go on another run. When they went on that other run over a good number of months, because each of these candles represents a full week, they breached this all-time high. So for those individuals that were greedy, fearful, not paying attention, they basically were taken out of their positions, i.e. they were, again, I ain't got time to explain it, but they were taken out of their positions going in an upward direction. And as soon as they did that, they made a lot of money again and went on their second profiteering run. This, what you see here, is another profiteering run. They made big money here, taking out this all-time high because everybody was buying Bitcoin, thinking that it's now going to go to the moon 100,000, as was promoted over and over and over again. Bitcoin's going to go to 1 million, but it's going to definitely go to 100,000. Come on, honestly, when you start to understand how these things work, you'll understand to be a little bit more cautious. Let's just go that way. But the reality of it is, what am I saying now? We're seeing Bitcoin going through a downward spiral at the moment, which is designed to basically, these guys up here making shed loads of money. And again, they're now starting to buy up Bitcoin, getting ready for what is potentially going to be another run up that will more than likely exceed the new all-time high of Bitcoin. That's the way the markets work. So there is some science behind this, but it's all manufactured and manipulated. And those that are in the know how these markets work. So that's why sometimes you may get a heads up from the likes of Whitney Smart, because she understands how the markets work. As a Forex trader myself, I have a pretty decent understanding of how the markets work. So that doesn't surprise me. When I look at a chart like I just showed you there, my question is, where is going to be the next best point to buy Bitcoin? And if I work that out, when I work it out, I'll happily share it with you. But again, no trading advice, but it will just be my opinion, right? But I'm not going to pay massive attention to it. But my point is when it comes to the industry that we are a part of overall, which goes beyond Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, we are part of the money. We're in the money game, right? So when you're in cryptocurrency, whether it's digital or otherwise, digital or fiat, it's all still money. And the same emotional triggers apply. Fear, greed, those are the primary emotions that drives the markets in an upward and downward direction. Greed drives the markets up, fear drives the markets down. And when the markets are going down, the smart individuals are buying. And when the market is going up with those that are greedy, those individuals are essentially getting ready to sell. That's just the way it works. So we're experiencing that now without even knowing it, being in this new bear cycle that has been manufactured, because it's now time, or it's been time for the big boys and the whales to make massive, massive profits, right? And they're getting ready to do the same thing again. And time will tell. You don't have to believe me, and I really don't care. Time will show you that this is just going to turn into another bull run. I can't give you the exact timelines, but there will be a very specific price point at which it will happen. So doubt and uncertainty are other triggers that basically, add to what individuals do and not do. So whereas fear and greed drives action, doubt and uncertainty does the opposite. It keeps people passive. It keeps people with their money in the banks, for example. It prevents them from wanting to take their money out of their bank and put it into cryptocurrency. Who in their right mind right now would want to be putting their money into cryptocurrency and buying it? The smart people. The smart people. Because the price is absolutely tumbling on most of the cryptocurrencies right now. And if it's timed right, then individuals are going to catch the next bull cycle and make a tremendous amount of money as well. So regardless of what we think, we are not insulated from how the markets operate and some of the more global dynamics. We are not isolated. Likewise, the hyper tech group, the hyperverse, they are not isolated either. So when we put together the bits of the puzzle, that the facts that we know, we can make an assumption, and it would be a reasonable assumption, that they are having to basically tighten their belts and lean out and potentially get ready for another bull cycle to be able to aggressively make those payments that are pending to us. And I have no reason to believe that those payments will not be made. I've just got no reason right now to believe that those payments will not be made. Is it frustrating? Hell yes, of course it is, especially for those that have made plans based upon those withdrawals. It hurts. Of course it hurts. But the reality of it is, it hurts because it's important to us. But the bigger picture is really what's dictating and driving what's going on. So regardless of how it feels for us, we have to remind ourselves that we can't control that bigger picture right now. So it's not energetically sensible to be putting a lot of energy in that direction, as incredibly frustrating and annoying as that may be. So when you're hearing the company say, be patient, it's better than them saying bye-bye. Because remember, we are still here. We are still here. So given the fact that we're still here, what is it that we're going to do, when we're still here, whilst we're still here? And this is really where the basics of community.
Wow. 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 Guys, I hope you took some notes. The recording will be available as soon as Dell chops it and edits it and gets it out. But every time I listen to that, sends chills down my spine because it's so on point. Mr. Ford, what can I say? But, that was excerpt 1. I can't wait to reveal 2, 3, and 4. But guys, listen, as I said, the big picture is the big picture. You got to have that. You got to understand that. You got to take a bit more of a global view on everything as opposed to a personal view relating to your personal situation. I don't know what else to say. I can't add to that other than that's powerful. And as I said, I know what you're about. I know how you deliver to your team. You mentor your team extremely well. We've got 15 minutes to go. We did promise it's going to be 2-hour training now on Saturdays. So what we'll do, Mr. Ford, is if we'll open up the lines for 1 or 2, I'm sure there's 1 or 2 that would want to say, and I'm not going to get around to everyone. So guys, you can have all, we're just not going to get around to everyone. We're not going to have 3 hours today. And we're going to keep it nice and tight and powerful. That's what you want every week. Very powerful, very short, very impactful training that you can take to the bank. And then you can build on that, because that's what we want to do now going forward. So, Mr. Ford, powerful, truly powerful. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is just see, let's see who we've got lined up. We're going to do 15 minutes, and we're only going to take a handful of questions, maybe some comments. Wow, the hands are popping up. I don't even know where to start.
Right.
I'll just start. I'll start at the top. Let's have a look here. Let's exit full screen. Let's see who's at the top. But I hope you guys enjoyed the training today. It's different, but it's important that, wow, look at that round of applause, man. And there is so much talent around the community, and I want to, going forward, introduce you to that talent that is just sitting there in the community. And it's always nice to hear someone else's perspective on how they see things are. So, wow, I knew he'd be first. Mario the man. Guys, I'm not going to get round to everyone. I did promise 15 minutes. I'm respecting your time as well. We could be here another hour and 15 minutes, but I'll have a cross section. And I'm going to go to Mario first. Keep it very short, guys. Please, please, please keep it very, very short and respectful. We'll try and get through as many hands as we can. Mr. Ford, are you ready?
Certainly am.
Okay. Mario, I'm going to ask you to unmute very quickly.
Mr. Clayton Ford, nice to meet you, sir.
Likewise.
My name is Mario. I'm the hyper driver. I'm hyperverse 1000%. And loyalty is right inside of me. And everything you said, man, it was making my hair stand. This is the first time I'm speaking to you. Maybe the first time you're getting to know me, but you're going to know me because I'm part of this community, okay? This is all about community. I wrote 3 pages of your notes, man. Disruptor, hyper, making revenues from many areas, sustainability. I still believe, and I will believe to the very end. I am kind of like Keith, not as big, but I'm getting there, my friend. And I want everybody to know Hyperverse is inside of me, and you cannot pull it out of me. I don't give a what you do. Okay. I'm a big boy. I'm a tank. I'm loyal to the bone, and I'm here. I take everything to stride. Not everybody. This is the one company that I've ever met where you can talk to the kings, okay? But the royalties further up that don't talk, that's fine. It's the kings that you got to listen to. Unfortunately, some of the kings are giving out some bad messages, and, you know, jumping ship doesn't exist in my blood. I'm here to the very end.
Yes.
When Keith goes, I might start worrying about it, but I'm still part of Hyperverse, okay? Thank you very much for your time, everybody else here. Listen to what these guys are saying and follow them, because it is a true message. Listen to that. I took 3 pages of notes. I'm 125 or 27 or 28 days old. I've withdrew. I'm dripping withdrawals. I understand sustainability. Find out the definition of sustainability. Connect, understand, and learn. I've done it so much. I'm ODing on it right now, my brother. And what you said today was powerful. Thank you.
Mario, thank you, brother. Let's get through the calls. Come on, guys. Bev, you're up next. Keep it short. Thank you, Mario. Powerful. And again, as I said, it's always great to have you on. Bev, you're next, then Raul, then Dr. K. We'll try and get through as many hands as possible, and we're going to go in order. Bev, where are you?
Right here. I still believe, and thank you so much. It is because of the leaders of this community and your amazing work and help that I still believe. And every day when I wake up, it is still there. When the winds were blowing this week, when I went into my back office, I was impressed that there was so many new things that I could participate in, as well as my rewards were always there. Thank you. Thank you. And the other thing that is such a blessing to me is I was so involved in my business before that I wasn't building relationships with my family, with my friends. And this has blessed me to where now I am talking to them because of Hyperverse. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you so much. Brilliant. We're going to go to my very dear friend, 25 plus years, 20 plus years. Dr. K, how are you down in Florida? How are you, my friend?
Great. What a great journey, Keith, you have brought me to. I am so excited to see Clayton for the first time since the last company. Clayton, welcome to see you here. It's a great journey. I asked Keith, where's Clayton? He said he's still checking it. I said, checking what? He came to me, Clayton, Keith, on day one and told me, I want to tell you about something. I said, where is your link? I didn't ask him. I'm not interested. We have been through so much in the blockchain, guys. I purchased Bitcoin when it was 14 cents. So you know what I went through, a lot of experience. That's how you learn. But I stay focused. I kept being focused here, I'm telling you, on the hyper community opportunity. I was the first US member, I was the first Canadian member, and now I'm the first Dubai UAE member in this opportunity. So I had a lot of experience. And believe me, I had people like Gene Flynn kept coming to me with a new opportunity every month. I said, Gene, you need to look at Keith and this opportunity. But he kept coming and coming. Finally, he got in. And I'm excited, Clayton, you got him. He is an amazing leader.
Thank you, Dr. K.
And thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. And stay focused, guys. Our job to go prospecting. Don't worry about politics. Leave it to them. They'll fix it. Thank you, guys. I love you all. You have a great journey.
Brilliant, brilliant. We're going to go to Ayula because your hand was lowered, so I know that you're up next.
Tantini.
No, Ayula, because she did have her hand up first. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hi, Keith.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Can't see you.
Hi, Mr. Clayton. Nice to meet you.
Oh, hey, Clayton.
Ethan Clayton, I have one question. Excellent training. Excellent training. I am focused 100%. There's no going here. One question. Is Mr. Sam Lee involved in Hyper One? And because this information is being spread by top leaders that propose training to us on a daily basis, weekly basis. So I just want to know that from both you gentlemen, as leaders to us, is that accurate or not?
Well, I can't say that he is, and I can't say that he is not, because I don't know. But I'm like you, I hear a lot of stuff. I try not to take on what I hear because, of course, you can imagine how many different things come to me during the course of a week. And a lot of it is speculative. A lot of it is based on, I mean, I remember last year, January, he was associated with another business and they swore blind. I mean, I saw everything. And that was called FOMO X. You can look it up. FOMO X started last January. I don't even know where they are now. But they had his picture. They had him taking photographs. And guess what? He was not part of it. And where are they now? And it's the same individual. So listen, I can't say to you, I know categorically, okay? Because right now there's so many different opportunities popping up and claiming. Last year they claimed that they purchased HyperFund at that time. We own the community. I thought that's news to me. I didn't know I joined FOMO X. So all I'm saying to you, Ayula, is that either you can focus on all the noise out there, but then what difference does it make? We're here.
I'm not focused on the noise, but it doesn't take.
I've been in companies.
The information is coming from.
I've been in companies where people in the boardroom separate. I was in a company, a coffee company, where the directors fell out with the investors, and I didn't even know whether I was coming or going.
Yeah.
You know what? It happens. It happens in life. It doesn't matter. What matters is that these guys are here, still here today. Focus on where you are and how that these guys have not switched the lights off. Forget about boardroom. Listen, Clayton and I have been together 27 years, okay, right? We could fall out if we start a company, but guess what? It doesn't matter. If the company still goes and it keeps on going, I go my another direction. Does it make a difference if the company's still going? So I'm going to take the next question now, or next point. It doesn't matter so much.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you. I hear what you're saying. Thank you, and I appreciate it.
I'm just being honest. It doesn't, to me, I'm here. And you're here, and we're here.
Right.
You're up next. Thank you so much. And I'm sure there's going to be other questions about stuff that's happened in the week where high storms and high wind. Sheila, you're up next.
That's Roll Totini.
Who is it next? Roll
Totini, yeah.
Okay.
Been waiting to twice so far.
Where are you, Raul? I can't see you.
I'm Blue.
Oh, okay. How are you, brother?
Hi, Keith. How are you?
I'm very well. I've kept it on gallery, guys, so you guys can see. I didn't want to put it on spotlight. How are you? Raul, good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. First of all, thanks, Keith. Very nice. The best one called for a while. I love it.
Thank you.
Mr. Clayton, very nice to see you. I love you so much. I love you. Really. Great guy. Great guy. Keith, for me, it's a new beginning. I don't know. It's something that I feel something good because I was afraid because, you know, when it's missing the communication, the information, you are afraid because you are something untouchable, you know. But I believe a lot in you. You are my faith. I believe in you. And I think that tough people. So keep going. And I believe because I must believe because Hyper is my life.
Yes.
Now it's tough because I'm living with my saving and have some time, but I hope that soon will become like before. Logical. I am a fireman with my group, you know, push water on the fire, but I'm here, I'm fighting, I believe in you, I like Clayton, Hyperverse, let's see what's going on and keep going. And
well, thank you so much. I'll probably give you guys another extra 10 minutes. Hi, who's up next, Dale? Because you seem to...
Leonard.
Who?
Leonard,
where are you?
Right here, Keith. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. How you doing?
All right. I'm doing well. Keith, I just want to give you kudos on, as part of the theme here, being taking control of a situation. You, in my eyes, have taken control of a situation here, and you're moving forward, and you are really moving forward, let me tell you. Thanks for that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Mr. Clayton Ford, what a pleasure. I think I'm going to put you as one of my quotes. Do not shirk the work. My God, I'm going to have a shirt that says, do not shirk the work. I love it, as you can tell. I think we had next blockchain Now we have next Clayton Ford. Thank you both.
I did tell you guys at the beginning, you're a very special individual, my dear friend. So thank you very much, Leonard. Who's up next, Adele?
Bill Ackley.
Bill, where are you, buddy? How are you?
Right here.
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm so great. What a great leadership this morning. I just want to start out and just say thank you, Keith. You know, you're a rock here, and I love it. I showed up on Monday to plug in, and you were amazing. The winds were blowing right then on you, and you just stuck it out. And and I, like Bev said, every morning I wake up, the lights are still on. The platform is flourishing. I get my HVT withdrawals every day. Like, they're coming through. I'm loving HVT. I'm using that. And Clayton, I love what you said about, you blow me away every time you talk. I can't stop listening and writing. And what you said about understanding and building a knowledge base and layers of belief. That's what I did. That Amazon Prime documentary is huge in understanding their companies, Collins Star Capital, the history, who these guys are. It's like they're not going anywhere, and their lights are still on. And so I don't understand why people are like, well, I'm just going to close my door and hide in the dark closet. The lights are still on. HVT is flowing. Projects are flowing. Let's share it and build and support the community. So thank you, Clayton.
Thank you,
solid. I love your training. Thank you so much. Thanks.
No, thank you. Here's what I will say, guys. Okay, and they say, like, you can't quit. Well, you can quit. You can. You can say, I'm out. You can call the company and say, do not give me any more rewards. Can you close down my account and I'm off doing something else? That's what I call quitting. But anything else means that you haven't really quit. You're waiting maybe for things to change, maybe for you to get a withdrawal through. If you're telling me you're going to quit, call the company and say to them, I'm done. Don't give me another reward. I'm not interested. I've got enough out. That's quitting. Other than that, you're just talking, just chat. Okay? So who's up next, Dale?
Do you mind bringing Whitney Smart forward?
Where is she?
Yeah.
Hey!
Where is she? Whitney?
Oh,
family.
Man.
Good morning. Or good afternoon, I should say. I don't even know where everybody is. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wow. Mr. Ford, Keith, just thank you. I think a lot of people have said everything in terms of just like giving you guys honor and thanks for doing this. I want to, I know some people in the community have heard my voice maybe a lot this week. So I just wanted to say that, this is what leadership is. If you want to see an example of what good leadership is not about solving everybody's problems, right? Because you can't always do that. What it is about is making sure that you're an effective communicator, that you're honest, that you're integrous, that you're giving as much information as you can based on the circumstances. And people can't always give all the information. I mean, again, for those of us that come from the corporate world, we know this. You know that there's times where things happen in companies and there's all kinds of shakeups and there's all kinds of stuff going on. And the leaders will come and they will say, hey guys, this is what you need to know. When we have anything else that you need to know, we'll let you know that. Other than that, if you don't see us jumping ship, we're good. Right. And that's the thing that I love about proper leadership, about good leadership, is that it reinforces you. This is what it's supposed to do. My hope is that for the people that are here, that between the trainings this week, between this leadership call, which I knew was going to be amazing, I really hope that you take this time to just reinforce your faith in this project. Like Keith said, like Clayton said, nothing has changed in the main project. Right? We are still doing the things that we said we were going to do. None of our investors have pulled out. None of the universities that we're working with have pulled out. None of the government agencies that we're working with have pulled out. We are still listed on the stock exchange in Australia. Nothing has happened with Ryan June. Nothing has changed other than there have been a handful of people who are not getting what they want. And when they're upset, this is what you see. And I will tell you, and I know I don't want to take up too much time because I know there's other people that want to talk, but I just want to say this. If you see a person willing to tear down something just because they're not getting what they want, when everybody else has been having the same challenges, but the moment that it affects them, all of a sudden, like they're not doing anything. They're not coming to training. They're no longer doing presentations because, until things get worked out. I think that says a lot. I think that says a lot about people when you only want to do things when it's working well for you. How about showing people that regardless, we keep going, even when things are good or when things are maybe on pause or when we may not understand, we keep going. Show me any person, show me any athlete, any great athlete that stopped because the going got tough, that stopped going and working out, that stopped going to training, that stopped listening to their people because the going got tough. No, they overcame. They said, you know what? I'm going to shut out the noise. Great people, truly great people, are very good at being able to shut out the noise and focus. And this is what we have to now cultivate in ourselves. The ability to shut out the noise, focus on the things that we need to focus on, continue to build our teams, continue to build this business, continue to invest in the project. Guys, the DeFi and the NFTs, I said this to my group, if you are not getting involved in the DeFi projects, in the NFTs that are in the back office, you are doing yourself the biggest disservice on this platform. That in and of itself is worth your entrance membership fee. So please do your due diligence, go into the back office, understand the products that are in there, understand how they can help you build wealth for the future. And please do not just flake out on something that is going to be the best opportunity that has ever come to you in your lifetime. You do not want to look back in 5 years and say, why did I quit? Why did I just walk away because the going got a little bit tough and I didn't understand? Why did I not stay plugged in and continue to research and be in leadership and go to training and build my team? That's what this is about. Resilience, emotional resilience, manage your emotions, be resilient. If this is not for you, then it's not for you. Cool, leave. It's cool. Like, it's not a problem. But if you're someone that's like, yo, I really saw the vision of this and you still believe in the vision of this, nothing has changed. Nothing fundamentally has changed. Continue to believe in the vision. Don't get distracted by the noise. Tune it out. Stay focused. Be a good leader. Come to leadership. Continue to invest in the people that are here. Jackie's here. Clayton's here. Ian's here. Keith is here. Look, like, there's so many amazing leaders that are still here. Jackie hasn't gone anywhere. Like, I haven't seen people leave. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she hasn't gone anywhere. Nobody's leaving. We're all here. We're all committed. We know what this is. So please, for your sake, do not be led by other people's fear. If you do your due diligence and you see something wrong, that's one thing. But if nothing has changed from when you started to now, you have nothing to be afraid of. So thank you, guys. I'm so sorry I went on so long. Thank you, guys. I love you, family, and just continue to stay strong. Thanks, guys.
Brilliant. Thank you. Dale, who's up next?
We've got Sheila, then we've got Jackie.
Sheila.
We can't hear you, Sheila.
Sheila, unmute, please.
She's unmuted, but we can't hear her.
Sheila, we can't hear you. Who's up next?
Well, Jackie.
Hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sheila, we can hear you. Okay.
I got it. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Mr. Clayton. This was wonderful, just right on point, what I needed to hear. But it was just a confirmation. I mean, I'm Hyperverse all the way. I'm not going anywhere. That was the message I continued to share with my team, like, I'm here. I'm not leaving, right? Because I did the due diligence and continue to do. I'm all about the bigger picture. So everything you said is just beautiful confirmation. I have two questions, though. This is just for clarity. Nothing will surprise me. It's just for clarity for myself and the team. One is Kalpesh really gone? Why do I ask that question? Because I did read something in the text and it signed Kalpesh, but knowing who he is and what he has taught us, it just seems a bit unlike him. Again, we're all sinful people who do things for different reasons. So I just want a clear answer if Kalpesh is really gone. That's one. And then the second question.
Sheila, let me stop you there. What does really gone mean? Maybe maybe he's gone on holiday. Maybe he's just taking some time off. I've not had a holiday for 2.5 years. I've not had 2 weeks holiday for 2.5 years. Maybe he's gone on holiday. But as I said earlier, if you are going to quit, anyone on here, hand in your resignation, call the company and say, stop my reward. And the withdrawals that's pending, I don't want it because I don't need it. Other than that, I don't want to even hear it because you guys are just talking. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who's here because we're here. And if you're not here, then you're somewhere else. And so who cares? If I'm here, I don't care. If I look left and right and the guys I ran with are not here with me, tough. I don't go back and look for them. They've gone. If we're in a battle and they decide to leave the field and they're running the other day, I'll turn around and I'll shoot them because they might shoot me in the back. So here's how I roll, guys. Either you're here or you're not. If you guys don't understand that, because it doesn't matter. We're here. The lights are still on. So who cares? I don't care who the person is. I know I'm here. And that's all that matters. Let's press on, guys, because you know what? Today we've got so many hands. I've given you an extra 15 minutes. Let's use them wisely. Thank you so much.
I'll just add one comment. I'll just add one comment, Mr. Williams, which is a phrase from Jim Rohn: "Wherever you are, be there. Wherever you are, be there."
It was easy for me to say, you know what, it's a tough week, man. But Friday was a good day. As I said, TGI Friday, it was great, a calm day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday wasn't so calm, but it's okay because you get through it. Because I always knew Friday was going to come, and I was looking forward to leadership. That's it. Who we got up? Who else?
VIP5, Jackie Holmes.
Jackie, where are you?
Hi guys, I'm here.
Hi, Jackie.
I'm here. Hey.
Yes, you are.
Now, this is what I call true leadership, guys. It was powerful, emotional. Hey, I'm here until, okay?
Ron says to me to lighten up. Ron, I'm here. I'm very light. It's a good day. It's a good day. It's a great day this week.
It's a fantastic
Ron, I'm just telling you as I see it, my friend. As I said, if you're running alongside me and I look left and right and you're not there anymore, I have to look behind and say, what's happened? Because it doesn't matter. You made a decision. I'm here. That's the most important thing. Listen, look, Ron, I couldn't get any more lighter. I'm cool. Trust me, I'm very cool.
Trust me, he's cool. Trust me on that one, right? Guys, I'm not going anywhere. I'm home. Where am I going to go? I would be homeless. Hello. Look. Yes, as Clayton said, there are news everywhere. You know what the worst thing is? It's the members. They are blowing things out of proportion. We need to all calm down, relax, remember why we joined this platform. Just remember that. Guys, I was on a call on Friday and a VIP5, I think it was, who said to me, he told me that, in fact, he told everyone on the call that other members, VIP5, was telling their people not to share. He wanted my opinion. All I said to him, but wait a minute, I'm sitting right here presenting. Why would you ask me? I'm sitting right here. Yet still you're asking me what to say to others. I'm sitting right here doing what I do best, talking to you guys, giving you my time. Because guess what? I believe in this opportunity. I believe in this platform. Guys, if you cut me, I think I'm going to bleed Hyperverse. Okay? If you cut my family, I'm telling you, you're going to see the same. Okay, purple blood, I don't know, but the word might come out and say hyper. This is it, guys. Look, we need to sit back, we need to relax and give the company time to do what they're doing. I came from the banking world, and I'm telling you, every 2 years, right here in Canada, and I can tell the name of the bank because I work for it. Every 2 years, they update their vision and their mission. And I've seen them call managers in the branch, in the office, and let them go one at a time. Because guess what? That individual do not fit in the vision or the mission anymore, okay? So guys, we have something wonderful here, something fantastic. Don't mess it up. Remember why you're here. Clayton, you're fantastic. Keith, you're my two guys. This is leadership. These are the guys we need to follow, guys. These are the individual we need to follow. But remember why we joined this platform. That's it for me.
Thank you, Jackie. You know, Jackie, over the coming weeks, we're going to introduce you some fantastic individuals. I'm lining them up for you so you know it's not just us two as great leaders, according to you guys, and thank you for that. But there are so many individuals in this community that has a voice and
have been leading their teams, superb. So thank you so much, Jackie. Who we got up next? I'm going to
Anthony,
we've got another 5-7 minutes, and that's it. So we're not going to get through all the hands. This is not going to go on another hour. But who we got up next?
Hey
Dr.
guys.
Anthony.
Hey Keith. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on. I can hear you, but I'm trying to find you. Hey, Dr.
Yes.
Anthony.
Can you see me?
Yes. How you doing?
All right. First of all, thank you, Keith, as usual. I think it's my third or fourth time talking to you, so what an honor. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Clayton. I saw you before on another call. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Mr. D. I'm like you guys, 100%. I'm a believer. I'm on my way to VIP 1. I spoke to Brenda last Saturday. I was going to sign up 5 new members last Saturday, and I think it was unfortunate because I was trying to sign them up, and then I was getting an error message from the new signing page, and then Brenda told me that it was going to maybe last like 24 hours. Can you guys confirm if I go and sign new members that now the sign up page works? Were you aware of that?
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
Okay, it's working now. Okay, great, because that's how it wasn't working.
Thank you, brother. I'm going to press on. Thank you for that.
Okay, thank you.
Who have we got next?
Ian Rush.
Ian, hi, where are you? Here you are, buddy.
Right here. Well, thank you. I mean, I won't go on and on with all the thank yous. You know how much I appreciate you guys and all the great leaders in the community. I just have 2 little questions that maybe you guys can speak on. So given that Bitcoin is the driver of the crypto industry, me and other members have talked about those withdrawing, if they could set limit orders for a fraction above the price, for an hour, 6 hours, a day, 2 days, whatever you can comfortably afford to do, or just wait, right? And could we maybe educate? Will that have any impact given that we have Bitcoin as the driver? I don't know, but it doesn't hurt. It's always a good strategy, I think. So maybe you could speak on that. And then also, I'm in, of course, I'm here, you know me. Well, anyway, I just asked somebody to wait yesterday. I did the presentation with them and I told them what's going on globally in the crypto market. And I said, let's just wait. And this training today has resonated with me and confirmed a lot. But I guess I'm trying to get to a point where I feel confident bringing people on and
so let me help you, Ian, in interest of time. I will until or I won't until, right? So if you got to decide. So I'm going to assume that you're in the I won't until camp at the moment, and there's no judgment on that. It's just it is what it is. You just got to ask yourself, what is it that's going to allow you to move into the I will until? No,
I'm already there. I'm there.
You're there? Okay, well, in that case, roll away, man. You've answered the question. You've answered the question.
All right.
Okay. You've answered your own question because you're already in that camp. So.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get clarity on, I know most new members are not going to be withdrawing, so it's a non-issue, really, on the enrollment side. And I do have the confidence that this is a temporary thing. So anyway, I just wanted to get your take on it, and also your take on the limit orders and whether or not it'll have any impact.
I will say this, and Mr. Williams probably it's buried in his war chest of messages. I have this mad theory that if anybody does have MOF, for example, there is a certain price point way above the market that if we were all to put a limit order up there, who knows? The trading algorithms may trigger it to go up there, right? So I don't know that it would work, but I think that it would be a good idea for all of us who have MOF on our exchanges to actually put a limit order. And I can't remember the number off the top of my head at the moment. I'd have to go in and just check. I'm 2 days behind on that. But I think it's worth a try, personally, as a trader. I think it's worth a try. To have a large number of orders sitting above current market price, it could have an influence. I think it's worthwhile.
Ian, we're going to press on. Clayton, thank you for that. We're going to press on.
The IP5 Renault, and then we finish with Marcia, if that's okay.
Okay, Renault.
Sorry, Jude. Sorry, everybody else. I mean, guys, we just can't get around to everybody. We've got Renell. Renell, VIP 5-star. How are you, my friend?
Hello, Mr. Williams. Hello, Mr. Ford. Long time no speak or see. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased and proud to say that I'm one of Clayton's 8. All I can say is, you guys, love you both. Hopefully you know that. My success in this business, I pretty much owe it to both of you. Obviously, I had to do the work, but the foundations were laid by you guys. So really, really appreciate that. I'm not going to spend too long on the call because I'm done. In the words of a song, it's called I Believe, and I believe I sent it to you, Mr. Williams. Some people stand, some people move. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. As long as you've got hope, you'll find a way. There's power in the thoughts that you think. There's power in the words you say. I'm done. Thanks, guys.
No, true leader, great VIP 5. There's so many of you on here that I wanted to get around to. Dale, who have we got?
We finished with Marcia.
Hey, Marcia, I know your hand's been for quite a while.
Just unmute again.
Marcia, unmute, please.
Unmute. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Keith and Mr. Clayton. I truly appreciate this training today. It was amazing. I just want to give up some points that I got from you, Mr. Clayton and Keith, is that, when you spoke about being in the telecom engineering, stuff and got introduced to the blockchain and all that, right? What you spoke about, and my takeaway from it is that you got to listen to people when they speak, because a lot of people hear what they say, but they don't really listen. And I always read between the lines when someone is saying something. Even if a written message is sent to me, I read between the lines, so I always try to do that. But that was a good takeaway for me. Keith, you talk about believing until, and still believing, what will keep you still believing, right? When I got into Hyperverse, I saw it as a legacy for my generations because, with my grandkids and my great-grandchild that I have, I'm a great-grandmother, and I want to be able to leave generation wealth for them. So, like Mr. Clayton, I have accounts for my grandkids, which I did KYC and everything for and all that. And I just keep buying, I just keep putting, their rewards in and keep growing it, right? Keith, I applaud you because this is what you always talk about. You talk about the education, and I'm now, today it really resonates with me. The education that we get here today is so important. I go into the back office and I play around with stuff and I take part in everything and I learn so much until I tell people about things that they was like, what? But the education is really important for me. I really look forward to sharing it with my grandkids, and letting them understand it too. And one thing I say also is about mindset, is the mindset of people. Their mindset. We have to know that things are evolving and we have to evolve, and we go in with changes. Things are changing. We have to change as well. Challenging times. And I like that what you showed, Mr. Clayton, with the impact with the thousands and the global, and it gives us a whole perspective. Those who are really paying attention would see that it's not about me. It's about global impact. It's everything that's happening. I know everyone talk about everything that's going on. I'm not worried about anything. Right now, all I'm doing is going in and taking part in NFTs and everything that is there. All that there is to learn, I'm educating myself, to share it with others. I love it. I thank you all for being here. I don't go on Telegram. I take myself out of all that. I'm not on any platform looking at anything. I don't know what's going on out there, but I know what's going on in here.
Master, thank you. Great way to end the call today. I love you for that. And, Clayton, listen, all I can just say is hurry up and come back. We are going to have other leaders delivering a message, so you hear it from different leaders. I think that's very important, as opposed to keeping it the same format every single week. We're going to do that going forward. Exceptional training today. I hope you guys got at least 1 or 2 takeaways here today. I mean, that's all we're here to do, is to deliver something to you that you'll take 1 or 2 things away and you take it to the bank. But as Clayton said, they're still here and we're still here. That's the bottom line. We're still here and we're still leading. And I can't think of anything else I'd rather do on a Saturday than be with you guys. I'm not sure. I'm sure that means I can't. What else could I be doing on a Saturday afternoon in London when the sun's shining and everybody's out having fun? This is where I belong, and this is where you belong. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Clayton, you want to say anything before we close out today's call? We gave an extra 20 minutes. We're trying to keep it nice and short and impactful, powerful information so you can get on with your day. Anything else you'd like to add before we close out the call?
Very little. I mean, very, very little. Just control your focus, and just control your focus and manage your emotions. Just if you find yourself getting annoyed, pissed off, vexed, upset, anything that's negative, just catch yourself in the moment and just remind yourself it's really not gonna change anything. And go about your day being gracious, grateful, go about it with gratitude, and just remember, this is, for the vast majority of us, the best thing that's ever happened to us. So let's give it positive energy. Let's give it positive intention. Let's do what we can to help them to get through this period as well. And sometimes just the energy that we give them could be enough to, accelerate the process. So trust and believe, I guess, is really what I'm saying. So yeah, looking forward to leadership over the weeks, and I'm looking forward to. By the way, I just have to give a shout out to the ladies last week.
Oh, Brenda, and I mean, they absolutely smashed it up. I'm so proud of Brenda. Brenda's coming back. We're going to have a rota where you'll be able to see a variety of leaders delivering training on a Saturday. And I'm just so proud of the community. I'm proud of the leadership. I'm proud of you guys because, you've got to follow someone. You've got to be following. We all follow, and hopefully you guys will believe enough in us to know that we're here for you. I love the community. I love the people. I'm here to serve. Service is number one, and the most important thing in my life is to serve. It's to do good, and it's to help. And what I've seen, how this has transformed lives in the last 2.5 years. I mean, we're talking thousands of individuals and tens of thousands where their lives have been turned around, whether it be on a small scale or on a large scale. That is comforting. It juices me every day. It serves my purpose and feeds my passion. And that's the most important thing. I can get up every day, I have purpose, and I have passion. It serves and makes me feel good that I'm doing the right thing. And I'm here until. That's it, bottom line. So that's it, guys. We have delivered the best training we could give you, considering a week of storms, all sorts of storms this week. We've had a couple of days of calm. Guys, be careful what you read and what you listen to and who you're listening to. So important to pay attention and try to be focused and try not to get the noise. Let the noise get the better of you, because it can be really distracting and it can be uncomfortable. Step up and be strong and handle that, because once you handle that, then people will know where you stand. The most important thing I feel is that people need to know where you stand. That's what members, community, anyone's following you need to know where you stand. And that's so important. That is it. Clayton, my brother, thank you so much. We're going to close out now. I'm going to give you guys a chance to say goodbye to one another as we say goodbye to you. What a great morning, afternoon, evening of training. I hope you got something from it. Dell just posted, we had to change the links because our recordings were being hijacked, edited, and stuck on silly YouTube channels. Yes, so we had to do that as well. We also had to close out and get some individuals who gone rogue
and caused a few problems as well. The last week has been pretty difficult. Storms, the winds have picked up, but guess what? We handled it, and we're still here. Thank you, everyone. Awesome. So goodbye from us, Clayton. Brilliant. Thank you so much, my brother. As I say goodbye, and we say goodbye to you, you can say goodbye to one another. One love, one family, one Hyperverse, one community. Take care, everybody.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
What a great training.
What you doing, Mr.
Love you guys. Great work.
And Clayton, I love you so much.
Thank you.
Clayton, Mr. Keith, you guys have a great day, okay?
Clayton, everybody.
Go down. Alex will not be down with this
Thank
meeting.
you all.
Bye.
Captain the Titanic.
Everyone.
Go down.
Everyone.
Great holiday weekend, everybody. Be safe.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Have a great week, everyone.